Let's play! Whoa!
Hey, don't you guys just love the black screen? Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you all are having a wonderful day so far. And welcome to a little impromptu stream. I know I said, God knows, was it 3 weeks ago? Like, yeah, I'm going to try getting back into things. And then, you know, work, life happens, and it's like, I'm tired. So, but just a little bit of a background regarding what I'll be doing today. I had a developer of a game reach out to me saying that, hey, they created their own kind of, if you want to say, homage to Ace Attorney. It is literally called Arcane Investigations. It's a Phoenix Wright-inspired visual novel mystery game. And you guys know that I am stupidly, attached to things like that. So he did reach out to me like a little over a week back, and I'm like, oh man, yeah, I why wouldn't I want to try this out? So apparently it's a fairly short game, so this probably won't be a super long stream, but it was right up my alley, and I want to try out the game and support developers. You guys know how I am. If I can get more exposure to these types of things, then I'm all for it. So that is what we're going to be checking out today. If I can actually bring up the game, that would be great. So give me 1 second. It should be coming up. At least it's not the blue screen of death. Well, don't jinx it. Okay, it should. I mean, it's up on my screen. I'm not sure if it's up for you guys. I don't think it is. That's weird. It showed up when I did a quick thing yesterday. Hold on. That's the chat. There's the game. Okay, that was weird. The option was always there. I just don't know why it didn't show up. Anyway, before I begin, Lithmus, thank you so much for this resub, by the way. Thank you. Because this is well, first off, this is like, it's an indie game. It is the first indie game from this developer. I guess he's more so of a he's a TV show writer, producer, or animator. I'm sorry, what? He's a professional TV animation writer. There you go. First-time game developer. So I'm like, okay, that's really cool. So this is the first game they worked on. We'll go over quickly on the credits so you guys know who worked on it. But yeah, I'm hopefully I'm able to give some exposure to all those that worked on it, because they work hard on things like this. So, and then you're also curious if I ever played the Gabriel Knight games. Sadly, no. And frankly, I don't know why, because, well, aren't they all point and clicks? Like, that, it would be right up my alley. Like, especially, like, if you guys ever watched my old LPs of the Blackwell series, I mean, right up my alley. And of course, as I stream, I get a phone call. Never fails. I'll be right back. Sorry, folks. What the fudge was I talking about? Oh, yeah, the whole Gabriel Knight games. Yeah, I haven't played them, but it's a weird mix, though. The first is 2D with great art. The second is amazingly kiddish live-action shot in Germany. Really? The third is bad-looking early 3D. Oh, kind of like the Broken Sword games, right? Wasn't like 1 and 2 like okay in terms of animation, and like was it the third or fourth one that had like the 3D and people weren't happy about it? I think eventually I would like to try all those games out at some point. So yeah. Peter, hey, what's up? Hey, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. And hey there, Sonic. You want to say hey, wondering if I'm all right since my last video was 3 weeks ago. That's true. Everything's been doing all right in your personal life. You're doing all right health-wise. Yeah, I mean, I'm hanging in there. I'm just busy, and the times I do get to myself to try recording, try streaming, I just, I get wiped out, and something I am kind of dealing with is, because if I mentioned to you guys, well, a little while ago, now that I'm diabetic, my glucose originally when I was diagnosed earlier this year, it was extremely, extremely, extremely high, and frankly, I wouldn't have known because I didn't feel any of the symptoms, so, I mean, God knows how long I've had it for too, but either way, one of the things that could happen is the lens in your eyes can swell, and that could change your vision, change the shape, whatever. I didn't notice anything. If anything, they said my vision prescription was actually too much, and they cut it back last year. But what I did notice is, like, after I've been stabilizing my levels now, like, I have a weird mixture. Sometimes it seems completely fine. Other times I'm having a somewhat of a hard time seeing, like, clearly. It's weird. It's like sometimes it's clear and blurry. So I do have an optometrist appointment in June, but everything I've been reading, it's like it's a matter of, like, the swelling going down, regulating the pressure and whatnot again. So yeah, I'm hanging in there though. I'll be all good. That's something new to worry about in regards to your mom. I'm so sorry, Peter. You know that I'm not trying to freak any of you guys out. We'll all be okay. It's just, this is my life now, and I'm still very new to it. Like, if you guys know anything about the disease, it's extremely hereditary. If your family had it, and my father, God rest his soul, he had it. My mother has it. So right there, right then, 75-80% chance that you get it. But we are where we are. No, I'll be all good, Lithmus. Hey there, Super Twin. What's up, buddy? One of the things you did to help your paranoia is you got her a blood sugar monitor, but unfortunately those strips are freaking expensive. Yeah, they're stupid. Do I have one of those? So I could, but what I have is what they call a continuous glucose monitor. They're ones that I wear literally on, like, on the back of my arm for like 10 days straight. Actually, today's sensor expires at night, and I'll get a new one on. But what's useful for that is that you can see the reading every 5 minutes, and it helps me determine, like, what track I'm on. Like right now, looking at my receiver, it's 131, which isn't, it's elevated, but that's, for me now as a diabetic, that's not terrible at all. So, but of course, eventually it would be nice if I didn't have to rely on any medication. I'm only on a singular pill now, but yeah. But honestly, the blood glucose monitors, those are going to be the most accurate. I just don't like the finger pricks. Sometimes they're fine, sometimes it hurts like a bitch. Because depending on where you stick your finger, you gotta be careful not to do it right on top. It's better to do it on the side of the finger, but sometimes you gotta watch out the depth of the lance. I don't like it. So, Pharaoh glucose meter live stream. It might as well be. This turned into a diabetic awareness stream, but it's all good, And like, I'm appreciative that you guys are, worried about me, curious how I'm doing. I will be okay. I definitely will. So, all right. Well, enough about my diabetes. Let's go ahead and check out Arcane Investigations. Went ahead and check the preferences really quick. Everything seems to be good. I like this animation. If I turn off the screen share, I can turn it back on. That's pretty cool. So I go under About. You'll see here that, very few people worked on it. Literally 4 people. And right here, the writer, the programmer, the sound designer, the producer, Ian Rickett, he's the one who reached out to me. So, like you said, he's a professional TV animator, writer, and first-time game developer. Reached out to me. I'm like, sure, dude. I was like, it seems right up my alley. So, hopefully I'll help him out here. And, you know, if you guys are interested in the game, you guys can check it out for yourselves. Tell other people about it. So, yeah. Character artist, background cover artist, UI artist, additional coding. So, yeah. Hey, well, speaking of Mr. Rickett, there he is. Hello, Dapper Dino, or Ian. No problem at all, man. I am really happy to check it out. And I'm sure my audience here definitely will get a kick out of this as well. And obviously for those who are not watching live, hopefully you're watching my VOD on my YouTube channel. But yeah, this will be available very shortly everywhere to watch and see. Now, Ian, I do apologize ahead of time if I'm going to be an absolute idiot progressing through the game. I literally just finished my work day right before I started streaming. I had a very long day, and my brain's like, ugh. So, we'll see. But yeah, no, definitely welcome. Hope you enjoy my shenanigans as I play through this and take things from there. And thank you as well for providing the social links for all the other artists that worked on this. Absolutely. All right. Well, I think with that being said and done, let's start. Let's see how this choo-choo. Click or press enter to advance the game. I think I'm going to be using more so of the mouse to be navigating through this. Just easier for myself. They deserve all the kudos, especially. Yep. I will make sure to include all their links in the description of the video as well. Absolutely. And before I actually forget, I am going to copy that into a notepad just so I have it for my sake. Thank you. Hello there, Poe Girl. What's up? That looks like very comfortable PJs. I'm gonna mispronounce all these names because I'm known for that. Is it Kabilly? That's what I'm hoping it is. Your head hurts a bit? I'm sorry, Poe Girl. Hope you feel better soon. Oh, it's 2 chimes past midnight on a Quartzway Express. I still can't sleep. I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but it's time for my secret weapon. Hey, look at that pose. To fall asleep, all I have to do is flip your pillow over, keep staring at the ceiling, recall embarrassing things I did as a child. Well, you know, I'm sure this helps anybody, but frankly, I don't even know what the hell I do for myself. I just shut my damn eyes and see what happens. You whacked it on your headboard when readjusting yourself. Oh, you had to go to the Walmart and get a baby bumper so it doesn't happen again. I'm sorry, Poe Girl. I really hope you do feel better. But I guess to help fall asleep, you know what really does help? We gotta recall some embarrassing things. Here's one. I once tried adopting the word chap into my vocabulary. Who am I kidding? Maybe I should just bail out the window. Slink back to my family's flower shop. Well, dude, is it a moving train? Don't do that. No stress there. No existential doubt that I'm totally unprepared to become an Arcane investigator. If I hand in my resignation first thing in the morning, no one will even notice I was here. What? They hit a note there. Flipping or fluffing pillow does help me if you're hot. No, it helps me too. I toss and turn quite a bit though as I sleep myself. See what I do? I just watch YouTube videos until you're tired and pass out. That's another thing too. I end up watching a bunch of streams on Twitch. That's what I do. Do you just pull up a 5-hour video on YouTube, knocks me out every time? Yeah, just one of those like really long video essays about something you're very passionate about. Huh? You know, maybe I actually am asleep. Oh, who am I kidding? I gotta know what that was. But first, I should... These are real clothes. Well, let's just see. Let's see what a change of uniform can do for us. Look out, world! I'm in pants. That's what I tell myself every day when I have to leave the house. Pharaoh, what do we know about the first prologue case of this game, or do we know any of the victim suspects? Nothing like that. Where I know as much information as you do, frankly. So the train hallway is dark and quiet. Huh, that's odd. The door to the train's locked safe room. It's open? You creep over and find the safe has been torn open. Its contents are strewn about the room. Oh no! There's been a break-in! It's freaking underlined so you know it's serious. Walking inside, you almost step on a magic rune that smolders on the safe room floor. Whoa! Some legit magic got cast up in here. If I remember from Professor Polyworth's 301 Advanced Spellcraft class, this spell on the ground is a Chancelio rune. A Chancelio rune means something's been using magic to teleport? Ah! Okay. What are you doing here? Ah! The speaker restrains a frightened witch. This does not concern you, citizen. But I heard screaming? The Magisterium Bureau investigation has this well in hand. Return to your room and leave this to the professionals. The MBI. Okay, cool. Does anyone have a sense of nostalgia here for Ace Attorney 1? Oh no, that's exactly how this is. This game was inspired by like Phoenix Wright and like visual novels, mysteries, so well up our alleys, I would like to think. Okay, but just for the record, you dig in your pants? Oh, for what? For your ID. Okay, good. See this badge? I'm a newly officiated Arcane investigator. Thank the giants I changed out my PJs. Ah, you must be Kabili, the new graduate from the academy joining our ranks. I don't technically start until tomorrow, but it's nice to meet you. I'm Oberon, a sorcerer's forensic expert, to say nothing of my knowledge in criminal law, rhetoric, and success as a prosecutor. Okay, I definitely see the Miles Edgeworth inspiration there. I don't know why I didn't catch it earlier, but okay. Oberon, where? I swear I heard that name recently too. I don't know where. God, was it WarioWare? I think maybe that's what it was. Hey there, Justin. What's up, buddy? Speaking of, I'm in the middle of transporting the prime suspect in tonight's robbery into custody. She used dangerous magic to destroy train property, make off of a singularly dangerous magic of artifact. So I plan to make her stand trial and pay for what she's done. Oh, Pharaoh, ever heard of a Lunar Silver Star story? I have. I know they just recently... Would you call it a remaster of the first two games? It kind of like more so re-released. But yeah, no, I'm aware of it. It is a remaster? Okay. All good prosecutors need a cravat? Yes, they do. We need more of that in the world's justice system. How about that? Does he lay eggs like Edgeworth does in expanded lore? Justin, don't even start, man. You've been reading too much of those fan fictions, huh? Aww. The restrained witch stares at the ground, not protesting. A dangerous artifact? What the hell did I say? Artifact. Why did I say artifact? Did anything else get stolen from that safe? Yes, because a certain someone's dad may have given them a watch to celebrate their new job. The only object stolen from the safe was a powerful artifact, an arcane power gem. Woo! I mean, the priceless stone originally belonged to the recently deceased father of this witch, Ismeta Jukar, and her brother Foley Jukar. Once again, probably saying it wrong. I'm trying to see, are there puns in a name? Because you guys know how I feel about puns. You highly recommend getting the remaster for the quality of life updates like subs, unspoken cutscenes. I will definitely think about it. Though the finer details of the father's will remain under active magisterium investigation, the power gem was released to the authorities so that it could be displayed at the father's funeral in the capital. As the gem was entrusted to the provisional guard for safekeeping, Ismeta's act of theft will be considered a crime against the magisterium itself. Sorry, no puns in the names. You're all good, man. You're all good. I just want to make sure. I'm like, am I missing something? But yeah. Have I had a chance to watch the new pilot animatic for Pretty Please? I Don't Want to Be a Magical Girl? No, I have not. I didn't even know they're having a new one. So, well, that's pretty serious. And you're sure she did it? It's Yukar? Oh, did I say, oh, because pronunciation. Thanks, Justin. It's the same old story. Those of arcane power think they can get away with anything. Fear not. Justice will be done, and she'll never cast a spell again. Ismena says nothing, watching the snow-capped mountains roll past. Even though you're sleep-deprived, hungry, and embarrassed because your hair is doing that thing again, you can't help but notice that there is something about her look. You tell yourself to stay out of this. I don't think she did it. Excuse me? Ismena turns to you, surprised. You roll out of bed and hear half the facts and think I've got it wrong? I mean, isn't the magisterium protocol to give the accused counsel? If you're volunteering to defend Ismena, I won't stand in your way. What? I haven't had any new investigator orientation yet. Nobody knows my emergency contacts. I can't think of a better orientation than this. I've already alerted the train conductor and cordoned the safe room and other areas of interest from the rest of the passengers. Review the crime scene. Question Ismena and her brother Foley, the only other suspect. You better hurry. I anticipate nothing. Wait. Sorry, I don't know. I was like, why am I having a hard time reading? I anticipate notching another guilty verdict by the time we arrive in the capital. Wait, hold the gramophone. We're doing the trial here? Tonight? The rest of your judicial team are already on board and have been alerted to the matter of hand. Empath Willa and adjudicator Zircon are making preparations as we speak. While you're at it, maybe you can get a straight answer out of her. Straight answer? Ismena, line our new investigator as to your whereabouts tonight. I can't say. What? You don't have an alibi? I admire your courage in defending her. We should all aspire to be so bold. Wait, I just realized we can't do the trial tonight. And why is that? It's that... Oh, a valiant effort. I look forward to seeing the fruits of your investigation. Oberon flashes you a winning smile, leading Ismena away. Great. Meeting my future co-workers while stumbling through my first case. What could possibly go wrong? Maybe I'll get sent back to my parents' flower shop sooner than I expected. Well, at any rate, I better get started investigating. Though not ideal, I could use my travel case to store and make note of any evidence I find.
Very good!
Very good indeed. Hey there, Presto. Welcome to the stream, buddy. How are you doing? Farrah, have you noticed any type of discrepancies at the crime scene and between our fellow prosecutor? Because I sure have. I haven't really taken a good look yet, but we'll see. I better keep my eyes open. Anything I find could become a vital piece of evidence in the upcoming trial. I can always, Oh, look, on the top left, it even says, you grab your scuffed traveler's case. I can always check what I've collected by pressing that big
That's a lot of nuts!
I collect them by pressing the big old inventory button. In fact, I should do that right now. There you go. So, we have our inventory. Oh, look. We can save auto, things like that. Cool, cool. So we have, pick an item to read the description. For example, this first thing is our investigator contract. Official magisterium startup paperwork I've yet to fill out. It details how I'm supposed to work with the automaton Zircon and investigators Bartholomew Oberon Bazard and Willa Mayweed. I love these names. Also, we have a train ticket. A ticket that doubles as shameless self-promotion for the train. Propelled by runestone wheels, the Quartzway Express travels at a blistering pace of 10 meters per second. Wow! Cool. Yeah, I do apologize. Those those alerts, I may have to turn it down on my sound settings where they're stored. So, sorry. Okay. When I click on a piece of evidence from inside my inventory, I can give myself a refresher on what the item is. Another thing. Another phone call from my insurance, but another thing, and whatever happened here, it definitely involved the Transilia rune spell, and let's be real, I mostly slept through Mr. Pollyworth's class. I'll need to ask people how that spell works, so I'm going to figure this out. Once I gather all the evidence from interviews and investigating the train, I can let everyone know I'm ready to start the trial. Oh, of course. Now I'm tired. All right, enough stalling. Let's get to it. Where do you want to go? Well, we have a few things here. We can investigate the crime scene, search her room, search Foley's room, and then question his meta. I like going just down the line from the top, so first things first, let's go ahead and investigate the crime scene. You head to the scene of the crime, the train's safe room. In the center of the room, a circular Transilia rune still glows with embers of magical energy. The broken safe stands near the back wall, supported by 3 legs. Ordinarily, it'd be 4 legs, but a section of it has been cleaved off, leaving the contents of the safe truly exposed. Interesting. Phew. Thank the giants my watch is still in there. As you reach to reclaim your watch, a silver automaton turns to watch you from the window. Ah. Actually, I think I'll leave it in there. See, if I had, like... You know, I have that voice mod voice changing software, but I never used it yet. I would have definitely used it for this because to give him a robotic voice, but oh well. That would be prudent, Kabili. This is an active crime scene. Oh, you must be our investigation team's adjudicator? That is indeed my role and primary function. You may call me Zircon. I am pleased to make your acquaintance. I wish it was under better circumstances. At least I had time to change out of my PJs. In trying times, I find it beneficial to appreciate the minor details. I, for one, just saw a juvenile Hyrax emerge from its warren for a twilight repast. Huh. Since when were automatons programmed to appreciate cute stuff? Would you like to review my serial number or most recent diagnostic review? Under general comments, they wrote, experiences spikes in unprompted self-reflection. Next service date moved up 3 months. You know, I'd love to chat, but I'm kind of in the middle of a whole whodunit thing. We all have our roles to perform. If you have need of me, I shall be observing your methods and judging you silently. Zircon hovers to the side, watching you with their singular gaze. What do you want to do? Let's search your room first. Oh, that's really cool. It tells you how many points of interest there are, which I like. You know, like it kind of double checks, like, hey, am I missing anything and whatnot? Once again, we could review our inventory by clicking the inventory button, or I guess we could leave if we so desire, but we're not going to leave. Let's take a look on the floor first, see what we got here. Let's see. Whatever cut the section of the safe must have really packed a punch. And to think whoever's responsible remains in our midst. Yep, definitely not sleeping tonight. So we could also, like, check it again if we so desire. Oh, you know, crap, I didn't even realize there's something different. Scattered around the safe are aromatic plant leaves covered in red flecks. An inconclusive scan indicates that they may be remnants of the Pyracantha plant. According to the Magisterium Codex, this is a highly acidic plant, often summoned by magic users, starting at 5th constellation level. How strong of an acid are we talking here? Strong enough to melt through walls of a safe? Is within the bounds of possibility. Whew. Not a good look for his meta. This entry does not explain where the leaves' red coloring originates from. Okay. Well, since the rune sigils are still glowing like that, I'd say this Transilio spell was recently drawn and cast. As for the penmanship, it's even messier than my chicken scratch. Maybe whoever did this was in a hurry? Or just refused to take calligraphy classes. Despite advancements in arcane forensics, it remains impossible to determine which direction the caster teleported using the rune. Oh, thanks a lot, arcane forensics! Oh, we have a photo of the rune added to our inventory. Well, directly below the safe on the floor is a smear of mud? Ink? Grease? Well, since I have no idea what this could be, I don't think I could add it to my list of evidence. Sometimes things reveal themselves in due time. Well, can't you just do a scan on it? Maybe not. So we still have these two things. I'll leave the safe for last. Let's take a look at this scarab-looking painting. Or sniff it, yeah. You know, we have our senses. I don't know why, can't use it. Is it a dookie? Or a chocolate stain? Yeah, maybe. Is that supposed to be a Galloway beetle? Then why does it have so many legs? Not all mysteries are ours to solve. Okay. Weird. The safe elevated on its 3 legs have been split open by a perfect circle going vertically through its structure. I scanned the safe and concluded that the power gem is the only thing absent from its contents. Are you sure I can't just grab my watch back? Yeah, never mind. Now, I don't know why the hell that'd be an issue. I mean, like, it's ours, right? Well, see, here's the thing. How do I try talking to Zircon now? It looks like I looked at every single piece of interest. And really quick. Safe room rune. Translocation rune drawn inside a safe room. The rune's line work appears slapdash and uneven, as though the caster was in a hurry. I'm guessing I have to leave and go back? Oh, no, never mind. There we go. Let's talk with Zircon. Whoa. Okay. Well, since he is new, let's go with the personal questions first. Then we'll go over to case questions. What's your role on the team? I'm an arcane automaton designed to adjudicate criminal cases on behalf of the Magisterium. To perform my functions, I have read-write privileges on the Magisterium's Codex of Collective Knowledge and Judicial Precedent. I'm jealous you can make sense of that thing. The one time I tried reading it, I got a headache from that table of contents alone. It is perplexing the laws of society are largely inscrutable to those who they've made to protect. I am a standard-issue adjudicator with up-to-date cognition and processing nodes. Well, don't sell yourself short, dude. You're unlike any automaton I've seen. I possess 0 deviations from standard operating procedure. That being said, warble. What the hell? Okay, a hat materializes on Zircon's head. What is your opinion of my chassis modification? Speak truthfully, I am myself undecided. Dude, yes, I love it. Wear that thing forever. I was being factitious about not processing an opinion. I feel most myself with this headpiece. Hell yeah, dude. That's all the reason you need to wear something. I appreciate your prudent counsel. I shall henceforth be adorned thus. So I love that. There we go. Forever we have a hat on him. You sure walked in a bad time? Not at all. Look, our automaton buddy has a little cute hat. All right, let's go over to case questions now. Does anything here seem out of place to you? Before returning to my chamber to engage sleep mode for the evening, I ascertained Oberon was meant to watch the safe room door. Really? Then how did someone break in here without him knowing? Well, it's a teleportation spell, right? Maybe they literally teleported into the locked room. That's the way I would think about it. Well, maybe Mr. Perfect Cheekbones was a little lax in his watch? An alternative theorem. Someone could have used the Transilio rune to teleport inside, escaping his detection. See, there you go. We're on the same page. I like my idea better. It is cute, and sorry you had to wash up and grab food. Next thing I knew, I'm missing half the things in the game. You're totally okay, Semi. barely missed anything. We're just started our investigations. Didn't we hear a noise? It could have been the sound of the teleportation. Didn't we hear somebody screaming? We'll see. We'll see how this all works. Who do you think stole the gem? I'm designed to withhold judgment until reviewing evidence and testimony at the upcoming trial. Well, sure, but you gotta have an inkling. Coming into contact with ink or any other liquid is dangerous to my chassis. Next question. Okay, takes things a little too literal, but that's alright. Yeah, we need to learn more about the Transilio spell. I searched the Magisterium Codex, subsection Major and Minor Arcanum, and found the following. Upon drawing the Transilio rune and casting the spell, everything inside of Transilio rune turns incorporeal and travels at 10 meters per second before resuming physical form at the spell's termination point. Now, what I am wondering, because they're calling out that anything inside it that turns incorporeal and travels at 10 meters per second, isn't that literally the same speed that the train travels in? So I'm wondering we have to, keep that in mind before resuming physical form at the spell's termination point. Why did Automod not like that? Doubt your... let me just allow it. It didn't like the word up butt. So, doubt Mr. Stick Up His Butt could miss that if we didn't, since he was supposedly closer. Oh my god. So, to perform the translocation spell, you just need to draw one of those Transilio runes and then cast a spell. You don't need anything on the other end to catch you, right? That is correct. All you need is to draw the rune and cast a spell at sufficient level. Well, we got more information about the Transilio rune now? Yep, totally knew all that. Thanks for the reminder. And finally, what is the Power Gem? The Power Gem is a relic from the era of the Giants that stores large amounts of arcane energy. Though it's unknown what it was originally made for, holding the gem enables amateur magicians to cast spells at higher constellation levels. Additionally, such stones have been known to overcharge objects powered by magic. Sounds pretty handy. Wish I had one of those during my arcane calligraphy finals. Unfortunately, it wouldn't have aided you in memorizing the runestone tables. Good to know my grades are accessible from the Magisterium Codex. And now we have the Power Gem added to the inventory. So that is everything. Oh, I don't know why I completely missed this. If I want to go back to what they were saying, I could actually literally scroll up and down. That's cool. Maybe you can, you can click on the options again, just in case you missed something to read back what they said. Okay, so with that being said, we had more information. So here's the guide to translocation number 3. So there might be other notes we can find. Upon casting translocation spell, everything inside a rune turns incorporeal and travels at a speed of 10 meters per second. I'm going to keep my eyes on that just because they mention how fast a train goes right here. It travels at a blistering pace of 10 meters per second. So, there you go. And finally, the stolen Power Gem. Kind of looks like an... what stone am I thinking of? Is it amethyst? Oh. The gem is a valuable artifact that stores vast amounts of arcane energy, used to supercharge anything powered by magic, and helps magicians cast spells as if they were higher constellation levels. So there you go. All right. Well, I think with that being said and done, we searched the room, we talked to Zircon. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go search Ismeta's room. You head to Ismeta's room. The space is crammed tight with books. It doesn't help Ismeta staying in one of the smallest, cheapest rooms on a train. I don't know. This looks, to me, cozy. Like people say cramped, I say cozy. Having returned from dropping Ismeta off in a dining car, Oberon stomps around searching for clues. You're careful to avoid stepping in the glowing embers of the Transilio rune in the center of the room. What? There's another one of these teleporting runes inside Ismeta's room? Now, this is really starting to look bad for proving her innocence. Oh, did it say cram? Oh, crap. Well, my apologies. Okay, let's search the room then. Well, one thing off the bat, though, this rune looks... I don't know if it matters. The one in the safe room was what, orange, red. This seems to be like white, blue, white, whatever. I don't know if that matters. And it doesn't really look hastily drawn. So, I don't know. Let's take a look at it. Huh. A Transilia rune is drawn on ground. The calligraphy on its sigils is clean, and I'm just gonna say, beautiful. Allow me to interject. Judging by the arcane soot around the lines, it's clear this translocation spell was recently drawn and successfully cast. Okay, but there's no way to confirm what specifically is Meta who uses to teleport. Then again... Oh, it doesn't look good for her. That's not good. Wait a minute. Yep. Sorry, guys. I was checking something really quick. All right. So that was the rune. We have books. Let's see. A stack of magic textbooks. Honestly, it's all a little over my head. Which volume is too much for you? Nature of spellcraft in our geocentric plane? Or herbal properties of night fungi? Simple magic for simple folks? How about you're an asshole? I'm just going to ignore that last thought. Hey, what's this? In one of her books, she's using a letter as a bookmark. It's from the Oaken Solarium University, welcoming her to the Spellcraft Development Program. Huh. Join a team of expert magicians developing the next generation of spellcraft. While working here, you'll have access to the Solarium's vast conduit of arcane power. If she just got offered a fancy gig in academia, why would she bother stealing a power gem? Because she didn't do it. Wasn't the safe missing a part? Yeah, it's missing one of the legs. It's supposed to be 4 legs, but now it's only standing on 3. It's on the ground of the safe room, but it was completely cleaved off. This would be the perfect place to hide the power gem if Ismena stole it. Too bad it's empty. What the hell? Too bad it's empty, Oberon. I'm sure a witch of Ismena's caliber could think of a better hiding place than this. That window is locked tight, I think. Then again, understanding user design has never been my strong suit. Why they gotta make everyday objects impossible to use? It's a window, dude. I'm looking at you, hotel showers. Okay, that could be true, depending where you go. Nice to have an Edgeworth and a Phoenix in this game. Oh yeah, no, the game is very Phoenix Wright-inspired, and I love it. Why do beds look so good when you're tired? If only I was back in my own room and there hadn't been a serious crime. Kabili, if you make one more longing sigh. Okay. Alright, so those are all the items we can take a look at. Let's take a look at the Ismena's letter again, just to make sure we didn't miss anything. So, it's a welcoming letter. It's a letter welcoming Ismena to join the Oaken Solarium University as a paid researcher. As part of that, she'll have access to the Solarium's vast conduit of arcane power. We should all be so lucky. Alright, let's go ahead and start talking to Oberon here. What's his role on the team? As our unit's sorceress forensic expert, there isn't an iota of arcanum that I haven't studied in addition of my dabbling in alchemy, cryptobotany, and hover polo. I'm sorry, folks. Like I said, I had a very long day at work, so I'm just saying stupid shit left and right. In this case, I'll use my breadth of experiences and insights to prove Ismena is, without a doubt, guilty. Wow, I'd hate to be in my shoes. Oberon does not return your laugh. Of course he doesn't. What you got going on, buddy? I don't have time for whatever game you're playing. Unlike someone else I know, I'm working. Yee, ouch! Wait a minute. Didn't I hear that from The Simpsons? Well, no, was it yee ouch or was it ee-ow? I think, no, it was ee-ow. It was, I forgot what episode, like, what it was about, but Homer wanted to prank Bart by having, like, this, like, it's like something you set up on your toilet. If they sit on it, water shoots up, it hits you in the face. And he's like, where's the EO? Sorry, I love older Simpsons episodes. Although I keep hearing some good things about the most recent one that came out, I guess. I gotta get back into it. So, can you tell me about the timeline of events? Well, if you must know, I volunteered to stand watch outside the safe room starting at 8 p.m. tonight. At 1:55 a.m., I made a routine inspection inside the safe room itself, whereupon I discovered a broken safe and the missing gem. So sometime between 8 and 1:55. I immediately began investigating and found Foley in his room sleeping. Meanwhile, his sister Ismeta wasn't in hers. I suspected a strangely absent Ismeta, who I knew to be a powerful witch capable of teleporting herself via transilio runes. I tried to alert Willa to help me locate Ismeta, but she was momentarily disposed to freshen up. After minutes of searching on my own, I successfully captured Ismeta, who I caught attempting to sneak back to her room. It was then that I ran to another potential suspect. What, you mean me? Hey, leave me out of this! Who do you think stole the gem? Well, normally I wouldn't divulge, but this case is simplicity itself. Driven by a desire to steal the power gem for herself, Ismeta drew this Transilio rune and teleported into the safe room, thus escaping my detection while I stood guard. There, she broke into the safe, stole the gem, and teleported back out, all without me knowing. Well, if that's true, then how come you found her wandering the halls out instead of inside her room? She likely misjudged the jump distance. One should never attempt a magic with a guilty conscience. Now, see, hold on a minute. Now I am thinking about it, because I'm hung up in this whole thing about the rune is like 10 meters a second, right? Or is it just 10 meters? Period. But if the train is traveling at 10 meters per second, are you going anywhere? Right? I mean, listen, my physics, I'm dumb as hell when it comes like physics, science. Like sometimes my brain doesn't put two and two together. But I'm thinking there's really no momentum, right? Like you're moving at the same pace as a train is moving. So you wouldn't be going anywhere. If the train was not moving, that would explain it, right? Just thinking. All right. Oh, well, okay, yeah, it depends on which way you're going. Yeah, see, I told you guys I'm dumb. If they were going backwards, then yeah, I guess then they would, well, I guess, yeah, maybe. Yeah, if you're teleporting the same way the train's going, then yes, you won't go anywhere. But if you're heading back the other way, then yeah, you'll be... Well, at that point, are you going 10 or 20 things forward or back? So that's what I'm thinking now. Like, if they went back, it would be 20 meters, right? Not 10. We'll see. Ow, I hit my damn knee on my desk. Fudge. Okay. Does anything here seem out of place? I'm confident the power gem is here. It's only a matter of time until its hiding place is revealed. You sound awfully sure for someone who's locked in that closet twice now. If you insist on interrupting, who do you think stole the gem? Wait, you're serious? This is just for sport, from one investigator to another. It'll have no bearing on the outcome of the case. So, who do you think did it? I don't know if I actually want to reveal... Well, one, I can't really make a logical guess yet. And, I don't want to make a guess. No. Too cowardly for a guess? No, dude, I'm being strategic. Screw you. Frankly, I'm not surprised. Kiss my butt. Alright, well, tell me about the Transilio spell. Let me guess. The Transilio rune wasn't on your finals? It actually was. Don't remind me. Here's a refresher. Spellcasters have to be careful with Transilio runes. They're all organic and inorganic matter, and the rune circles teleport along with the caster. So, if you don't want your limbs sliced off while using the rune to teleport, you have to stand perfectly still. Okay. I'll stick to trains for personal travel. Interesting. A needlessly sassy note was added to your thing. So, number 2 here. Use extreme caution when positioning your Transilio rune. All organic and inorganic matter in the rune circle will teleport along with the caster. So this makes me wonder, maybe this is why portion of the legs for the safe was cut off. Maybe it got captured in the spell. Maybe. Boys, if you freaking peed somewhere, I'm gonna be upset. You guys are looking sus. Come here. Okay. All right. Well, I guess that is all we're gonna see out of Ismeta's room. So let's look at Foley's room. Dang, this place is fancy and huge. Well, comparatively big because, you know, still on a train. So we don't have anybody to talk to. Let's go ahead and search the room then. We have 6 points of interest. Look at that rug. I think the threat count on this rug is higher than my sheets at home. I wonder if anyone would notice if I took this home with me. Dude, how? Please explain how. Huh. Good for Foley. Breaking out of gender norms and taking up knitting. Although he's got some serious learning to do. These knitting needles are majorly scuffed up. I'll make a note to give Foley some tips later. Scarf edit. Well, now why would that be added to our inventory? Interesting. The window's locked tight. Even if Foley got this open, he'd have to be some kind of acrobat to get it onto the roof. Foley's got a lot of clothes, but for my taste, his duds are mostly duds. That's me trying to be cool with the fact I can never afford half of this. Okay. So there's... Oh, I was gonna say, what other thing am I missing here? So the clock. Looks like your standard arcane power clock. Too bad it's busted as all get out. According to this hunk of junk, it's already 4 chimes past noon. Wait, is it busted or is it 4 a.m.? I mean, or does it actually denote if it's noon or midnight? I don't know. According to this hunk of junk, it's already 4 chimes past noon. If only that was the actual time, then I'd already be at my new apartment and maybe even sleep. Suddenly the door bangs open. Hi, well, aren't you? Don't you look awesome? Kabilly, hi! And out of breath, the woman appears, clothes and hair askew. Do I know you? We met when you were ordering a drink from that bartender. You know, the one you thought was super cute. But how'd you know that? Was I that obvious, or... Wait. You must be... Ding, 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 ding. You were about to guess it. I'm Willa. Nice to officially meet you. Oh, I love you, Willa. You're the team empath, right? So that means you've had the power to... Oh no! Read people's minds? Oh, sorry to disappoint, but a mind reader, this girl is not. Basically, my powers allow me to read people's moods. I can tell what someone is feeling, even if they're trying to hide it. Didn't that one character... which game was it? It's one... Life is Strange. Is it True Colors? Isn't that the whole gimmick of that game? Is like the main character's an empath, like she can actually figure out people's moods or auras like that. I'm kind of upset because I didn't get a chance to play that or finish Life is Strange 2 when they were still on the PlayStation service, like for free. So maybe one day they'll be brought back, but I surprisingly got really into Life is Strange, like the first game and Before the Storm. Those games ruined me. So, okay. How her power evolves is crazy. Damn it. See, now I'm more pissed that I've missed out on the game. One day I'll try it again. They were hella good. Nice. Hey there, Tap. How you doing, buddy? You still I think I saw you still chugging away at freaking Tears of the Kingdom. Dude, at this point, you might as well wait for the Switch 2, and then you get to play it well, wait a minute. Yeah, the enhanced version. You gotta pay like an extra 10 or 20 bucks for it. Or no. By law of Nintendo, you had to like scrap everything and replay the game from the very beginning. Add another 300, 400 hours. Yeah, there you go. Run it back from scratch. I'm not gonna lie. Part of me was thinking of doing that, but I'm like, shit, nah, I already put in like 200 plus hours. I just do not see myself replaying that game. Not never, but, you know, maybe when I retire. We'll see. Okay. I can tell what someone is feeling, even if they're trying to hide it. Though it's not as powerful as telepathy, mood reading's still a huge help to understand suspects and witnesses' emotions, vibes, and very reciprocated crushes. I'd say that's relief, but I'm already mortified. Well, speaking of vibes, I love how it's not even your first day and BAM! You're already challenging the big O. Well, honestly, I'm feeling a little over my head. Oh, don't worry. Feeling overwhelmed is practically a default mental condition. Yeah, well, welcome to all of us. Anyway, I should let you get back to making profound discoveries about that clock or whatever. If you need any empathic insight, just think happy thoughts. Willa turns away to brazenly leaf through Foley's wardrobe, admiring the make of his frilly shirts. Couldn't you fix your current Nintendo Switch? I mean, I could, but quite frankly, if I spend money, like minimum $100 just to fix my Switch, where the Switch 2 is literally coming out in like a month and a half, I can just simply do a data transfer and then save myself $100. Now, granted, I hate the idea I'm going to have a broken console per se, or like a console that doesn't charge, but you had to take your headphones off for a second, but so you may have answered, but I was going to ask, am I excited for Switch 2? I am. You know, like, so I'm not going to lie, at first I wasn't planning on getting it right away, but because my Switch kind of, you know, shit the bed earlier this year, my main aspect of it is mainly like, hey, I'm going to utilize this to replace my Switch. Because, frankly, I have so many Switch games I've yet to even come across yet, or, like, play, that I own, I just haven't played it yet. So I might as well play them on the Switch too, you know? And I get to play the exclusives, you know? Because as it stands right now, frankly, I'm super excited for that Donkey Kong game. It looks stupidly awesome. And frankly, you know, we'll see what other games come out in the future, because that's the only one right now that I'm excited for. Mario Kart, don't get me wrong. I mean, I like Mario Kart. I haven't played it since 64. I missed out on, you know, Double Dash, 8, you know, the big one. But World does seem pretty cool. And quite frankly as well, if I do get to Switch, I will get that bundle, because it's a shit ton cheaper than buying the console by itself and buying the game that's $80 or $90 by itself. So, yeah. You've been begging. Hold on a minute. Benji. Sorry, like sometimes when like Benji keeps like growling or whatever, he kind of like irritates his throat. I want to make sure he doesn't keep doing that. You've been begging for a Donkey Kong game for so long. I hear you. Like, it's like, have we not had like a 3D one literally since, you know, Donkey Kong 64? So, that's amazing, you know, to see. And I do like his new look. You know, at first I was like, I wonder if I'm going to get used to it, but I do like it. It is weird that he's wearing suspenders. I'm like, he's wearing pants? That doesn't seem correct. But we'll see how that goes. You refuse to buy Switch 2 on principle until they lower the prices. I hear you. I definitely hear you on that, Peter, because actually I'm a little surprised at... I thought at the very most it was going to be $350, maybe $4. But... yeah, Frankly, I just don't see Nintendo doing that, at least not anytime soon. So, there we are there. It grew on you. You didn't like it in the Mario Kart reveal, but in his own standalone game, it looks great. Exactly. I was exactly the same way, because that one little screenshot they showed of him in the Mario Kart world, I'm like, he looks odd. I was like, what the hell's going on here? But yeah, no, in the game itself, he looks amazing. So, and I absolutely love how his facial animations in the game's insane. So, yep. You're excited for the new Donkey Kong game? Your only question is David Wise doing the soundtrack? That's actually a good question, because I could have sworn that they mentioned that in the Nintendo Treehouse event when they were covering the games, but I don't know, actually. I don't know. As much as you desperately want to support Level 5 in the new Layton game, this is more important to you. No, I hear you. I definitely hear you, Peter. I mean, we can only hope that they will eventually lower their prices, and maybe they will, but we'll see. The gaming industry and the gaming environment has definitely changed quite a bit, both for the good and bad, let's be honest. Maybe good for like indie developers and smaller developers, definitely bad for big name developers, just because everything's a business, so I get it. They did it with the 3DS, and that's what you're riding on. We'll just have to see what's up. The console price is on par with your expectations. Video game price is way higher than you anticipated. It'd be a lot more selective on what you get for $79.99. We'll see. What scares me a little bit about that, dude, is, if you recall, like, how games priced back, like, in the Super Nintendo N64 era, or even beforehand, too. I mean, I can't remember things from the NES days, or even Super Nintendo days, but the games didn't really have a regulated price back then. For example, Killer Instinct, brand new, was $80-something or $90 for the Super Nintendo. But then, like, maybe a sports game would be like $40 for the same console, brand new. It wasn't until mainly, I think it was PlayStation, if I'm really not mistaken, that they had the standardized pricing for their games being $49.99. And at that point, every other, like Nintendo and then obviously Xbox, when they joined the market, they had to have the same competitive pricing. And frankly, when we talk about inflation and all that, how the pricing for games and consoles doesn't seem that bad compared to how it was back in the 80s and 90s. So, well, and handhelds are a little bit different too, Pole Girl. Let's not forget. Those are always going to be like a little bit cheaper than console games. But yeah, I mean, the problem is that it looks like Nintendo is going back to the whole thing of adaptive pricing. I'm not going to buy crap if it's going to be constantly $80, $90. So to your point, God knows if I'm ever going to... Yeah, Nintendo games never go on sale, so I'm going to buy crap used. Majority of the games I own, used, because I can wait. There's very, very, very few games that I own that are brand new. But that's just me. So, what sort of new information have you uncovered from your investigation so far? I've been talking to you guys. I haven't gotten back to my investigation yet. You remember when a kid could reliably buy video games with their pocket money? Yeah. Well, times change, guys. I mean, here's the thing. For myself, maybe I don't think about it as much. And 100%, I'll just be honest with you guys, it's privilege on my end. Because I have a career, I'm content, with salary and all that. I can afford to buy games. I can afford to buy all the consoles that are out there. So for me, I understand that it's not as easy for many others. Totally get it. At the same time, I also have that, fortunate, situation where I'm like, hey, if I really want something, I'll go get it. But no, especially before I had a job, before, when I was younger, I had to be very selective of what I could get, and I would buy things used. So, yeah. Last game you bought full price was Tears of the Kingdom, and you got 300 plus hours out of that, so you feel that was a good bet. No, yeah, I hear you, dude. That one, I purposely got that Switch digital voucher thing, so I paid $100 for that, but I got Tears of the Kingdom with that, and I forgot what the hell the other one was. But either way, it did make me save like 20 bucks. So, but yeah, look at that value. I got 200 plus hours. You got 300 plus hours out of it. Nowadays, you're lucky if you get 5 hours out of a game. Oh my god, excuse me. So, what the fudge was I talking about? Oh yeah, the clock. Okay. And finally, whatever's here. A lot of Foley's business correspondence is scattered around here. Notably, there's a stack of customer complaints for Foley's line of successful Maja weights. The kettlebell that gets heavier with every swing? God, no. Skimming these letters, it sounds like people are upset after 6 months because the kettlebells stop resetting their weight back to... They stop resetting their weights back to 0. Huh. I should probably tell my mom. Not if she ever works out, but, you know, just in case. So that's a little interesting that they mentioned that. Complaints on Foley's weights. A stack of complaints for Foley's business that sells magically weighted kettlebells. It sounds like after 6 months, the kettlebells begin malfunctioning and not resetting their weight back to 0. We also have his ugly... We have to call out that's an ugly-ass scarf. A work-in-progress scarf found in Foley's room resembling a non-Euclidean Ouroboros. What? And embedded in the scarf is a set of knitting needles with a broken, scratched tip. Apparently good to know. And anytime I see the word Ouroboros, I don't know if you guys ever played Resident Evil 5, but that's all I think about. Is Mena's room rune. A translocation rune drawn as Mena's rune. This one looks masterfully and precisely drawn. Okay. Well, with that being said and done, that is everything in Foley's... Ow! Fudge. Pulled something in my big toe. Let's talk to Willa. God, I hate getting old. So I'm the team empath because it turns out reading people's emotions is real helpful when sussing out criminals. Speaking of, I talked to Foley overnight. I talked to Foley tonight. It's Mena's brother. Something's definitely not on the level of that guy. Anything more specific? She's Athena. I tried digging a little deeper, but Oberon wouldn't let me. He basically pushed me out to search here, even though it's like, hello, I've got 2 left roots when it comes to finding the physical evidence. Maybe don't stand on top of the suspect's luggage? This is what I mean! Oberon really is looking very suspicious, to say the least. I get a little shy talking about myself. It's like, what is there to say? I was born in... Oh, shit, hold on a minute. Oh, well, nope, okay. Alrighty. No, come on, game. How dare you? I was trying to go back to read the log, and it wouldn't let me. Yeah, like, I go back 1, and then that's what happens. So I have the power of editing. I can just pause this. But, okay. Well, yeah, so that's basically it. What just happened? Okay, we'll have to, you guys read the VOD and, watch the VOD and pause it on your own time. You understand that pain, Pharaoh, because you're almost 30 in the next 2 years. You'll be 30 and turning 28 this year. I understand the pain all too well because you started to feel it as well. It happens, but, we'll be all okay. Came back to read the word salad. Timeline of events tonight. So, I was asleep in my room. You get just the best sleep on a train, right? I wouldn't know. Talk about salt in the wound. All of a sudden at 2 a.m., bam! Emerald? Vacate your room post-haste. We have need of your investigative services. Is that supposed to be Oberon? I told him to hold his horseflies. A lady can't just rush out of her room at a drop of a tam o'shanter. When I was good and ready, I came out and got the lowdown for his lordship Oberon. From his lordship Oberon. Then he sent me here where I met my awesome new co-worker. Thanks for the wholly objective recount. So, she said 2 a.m., right? Oberon said 1:55. Does it matter? Why the 5-minute gap, game? What do you think who stole the gem? Who do I think stole it? Well, honestly, I just woke up and I'm still getting those grass sap crusties out of my eyes. Ew. I will say that before I came in here, Oberon had me do a mood reading on his meta, and get this, I picked up exactly 0 guilty vibes. She was mostly scared and a little hungry. Seriously? Then why is Oberon still accusing her? Unfortunately, mood reading isn't a fully unimpeachable method of criminal investigation, whatever that means. In any case, it's not surprising Oberon has his meta in his sights for this. Whenever there's a crime, his first and only plan, blame the strongest magic user. You know, I'm just wondering, but what happened to your necklace? Oh, this whole thing? It's a mood pendant. It lights up depending on my emotions. If it ever turns red, watch out. I bite. It's funny. When I met you in the drinks line earlier, it didn't glow blue like that. It's probably all shiny now on account of the, the sweet flying dream I had earlier. How come the best things in life are over too soon? I also have a note about her necklace. Okay. Let's see, a magic necklace that responds to Willa's moods. When I first met her earlier today, the necklace was dull and lifeless. Now it's a radiant blue from her super awesome flying dream. Interesting. Maybe we'll learn a little bit more about that later. Okay, guys. Well, that's everything in this room. Let's, I guess we can question his meta. You walk to the train's dining car. Excuse me. Why do I hear... Rolly, I swear, you're peeing somewhere. I'm going to be upset. Come here, buddy. Come here, Benji. Oh, crap. Oops. Ordinarily, there'd be a few other night owl passengers, but the case has scared everyone away. Ismena stares out a window, nervously tapping her toes. Across the room, a man looking just like her eats an omelet. This must be her brother Foley. Because who doesn't want to eat an omelet at like 4 a.m.? Actually, that would be... I wouldn't mind that. A wary sentry reads the paper, keeping an eye on the 2 suspects. What do you want to do? Well... Ooh. Let's investigate the room first, then I'll talk to everybody. If there weren't so many witnesses, I'd treat myself to a little pick-me-up. Hey, get your paws off the good stuff. Just checking the vintage of this bottle of, orange juice? Oh, that was barely selectable. The train runs a slick business. They sell tickets to cram all the passengers in here, then upsell us on watered-down mixed drinks. Honestly, I'm glad that bartender with the impeccable jawline isn't here. I'm too nervous to make a good impression. Hey, wait a minute. Well, according to this itemized bar tab, that handsome so-and-so charged me double for my weak gin and cucumber soda. That's bar tab of egregious mischarge added to the inventory. Oh my god. I'm making a note of this to bug that smoke show later. Wow. Maybe this will be the start of a beautiful relationship. Or at the very least, a refund. Jeez, yeah, how much... My god. That's why I don't like drinking. Like, more so, like, going to bars or whatever, because it's just insanely priced. We're going past the cranberry marshes on a moonlit night. Even if my career goes up in flames, at least I got to see this. Yeah. Nice view added to the mental... Wait, nice view added to your mental inventory. I love that. This is probably unrelated to my investigation, but who puts a chandelier on a train? Anything to class up this dump. I'm impressed. Whoever casts this glow incantation on a fixture really know their illumination spellcraft. Okay. We have one more point of interest. Now, can I find it? It's a trash can. Nothing says I've made it like digging through the trash for work. Well, that's odd. There's a sandwich in here. Going off pictures from the dining car menu, I'd say this is a beet, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. Well, it is a BLT, but no bacon. A beet, though? Ugh. Here's the strange thing. The sandwich is entirely untouched, except for the fact that it's missing all the lettuce. Huh. I don't know what kind of leafy green is supposed to be in here, but everyone should eat their vegetables. I'm making a notice to find whoever's responsible for this monstrosity. The worst BLT of all time added to the inventory. Well, that's odd. Why lettuce? Huh. A beet, lettuce, and tomato sandwich found without the lettuce. What kind of person orders this and only eats the lettuce? That's if they ate it. Something else could have happened. Let's see. Dining car bar tab. A list of tonight's drink orders from the dining car. Ooh, okay, this might be good. So we got a gin and cucumber soda, which is me, Casey. That's a me, 714. A maple fizz 2 minutes later, ordered by Willa. A ginger root sour, ordered a minute after that by Ismeta. And then 2 maple fizzes and 2 ginger root sours almost an hour later by Willa again. But because there's 2 of them, it's very possible that Willa and Ismeta were drinking together. Then we also have an apple wine brandy about 40 minutes after the 2 drinks that was ordered by Foley. Okay. And then here, very late at night, at 1:17, a honeyed jackfruit bliss. Ordered by Bob? Who's Bob? And do we have anybody's name who starts with a B anyway? Kabilly, Oberon, the Sentry, yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll figure out who the hell Bob is. Apple wine brandy sounds good. Yeah, it does. If I do have to drink anything, I'm a fan of like hard cider. I don't care. I like more flavorful drinks. Like, I don't know. I never really was super fond of drinking anyway. I mean, don't get me wrong. I drink, but I can probably count on one hand how many times I do it in a year. Man, I miss having sugar in my sodas. I had some lunch earlier today, and it came with a 0 sugar 7-Up to help myself out. But dear God, it does not taste the same. Dang you, diabetes. I'll be okay. Okay, so that's all the information so far. Let's go ahead and start talking to everybody. It's Kabilly, right? Thanks for helping me out like this. Don't worry. I'm very confident in my professional abilities. Okay. What? Don't mind me. Just trying to lighten the mood. How can I help you with your investigation? Well, let's begin with the personal questions, like, the whole thing with the father's will in the capital. Like, what's going on about that? Well, the Magisterium's still reviewing my dad's will since he owed a lot of valuable books and potentially dangerous relics. The lion's share of his belongings were supposed to be split between Foley and I, but then it all got held up in the Magisterium's audit. It's frustrating because I plan to translate some of my dad's first edition magic books and make the texts available to any spellheads for free. I even picked out an outfit to wear for my author photo. In any case, they released a power gem to the authorities so they could show the gem at my dad's funeral for all the good that did. Good that did. What about your brother? What's to tell? My big brother and I used to be close, but then time does that. Time does what time does. Suddenly a year passes and you realize you haven't really spoken since the equinox. Anyway, we're very different people. My idea of a good time is figuring out how to cast a new, esoteric bit of magic. Meanwhile, my brother spends all his time writing taglines for his businesses, speaking at conventions, and getting his products sponsored in theatrical shows. Getting front row tickets to said theatrical shows, honestly, I'm proud of him and only a little jealous. Okay. How about yourself? I'm a 5th constellation level witch and professional arcane researcher. Well, anything more personal? How's this for a fun fact? I don't want to be found guilty of a crime I didn't commit. Yep, I deserve that one. Alright, so, what's your alibi? What were you doing earlier tonight? I can't say where I was. You're about to be put on trial for the robbery of a dangerous artifact. You could just go to jail for this. Come on. Will you tell me where you were? If you tell me where you were, it'll make defending you so much easier. I'm sure you're up for the challenge. For the first time, I wish someone believed me less. Alright, what about the Transilio spell? Oop. I know it doesn't help my case, but I've made a career out of performing advanced magic like the Transilio rune. The Transilio spell is actually a fascinating case example of modern arcanists updating a spell originally meant to help ancient quartz miners escape cave-ins. Sorry, this probably isn't time for an arcane history lesson. Well, here's how that spell works. So a 5th constellation level mage, or higher, can use this spell to teleport exactly 50 meters away. Wait, what? What about the 10 meter thing? Okay, so we'll read all the notes when we get all the information. Starting at 3rd constellation level, mages can do a weakened version of the spell, only teleporting a few millimeters away. Huh. I hope that's useful. That is. So, 5 or higher, 50 meters. Starting at 3rd level, a few millimeters. I guess that can be considered 10 meters? Maybe? I don't know. Wait, millimeters? Oh, whatever. So what is that power gem anyway? The power gem is a family heirloom and powerful artifact from the time of the giants. Ever since my great-great-great-great-grandma found it, every generation's taken a crack at figuring out what it was really made for. I hope you're able to recover it. I'd hate for all that family history to just vanish. Okay. Who do you think stole a gem? Yeah, doesn't millimeter sound useless? Like, I was thinking, I'm like, does that actually mean, like, I was like, that can't be 10 meters, no. So, where the hell did the 10 meters thing come from? I honestly have no idea. I'd hate to imagine Foley did it, but I don't see how or why'd he do this. He's only interested in magic when there's a way to market and sell it. Maybe there's something else we don't know about? Maybe. So, here's the first note about the guide to translocation. So, a 5th constellation level mage or higher can use the spell. Now, it says up to 50 meters. It doesn't necessarily say it's going to be 50 meters. They can go up to 50 meters. So, but they have to be a 5th constellation or higher. However, if they had a power stone, they can act like they were higher constellation levels. So that's something very important, I guess, to think about. Starting at 3rd constellation level, mages can do a weakened version, only teleporting a few millimeters. Okay. Then the second one is like, make sure you're standing perfectly still. Third one is, well, it says, hold on here. Upon casting the translocation spell, everything inside a rune becomes incorporeal and travels at a speed of 10 meters per second. Well, so that means it's 5 seconds, right? If it's our 5th level mage or 5th level constellation, whatever. So Maybe. Okay. Anyway. I don't know about Oberon. At least I can't recall what he mentioned about his level, if he even did in the first place. Let's talk to Foley. Just the guy I wanted to see. Who, me? What would you say if I offered you a delectable new beverage that also restores your mana? What? Introducing my next hit product, Mana Storm. Mana Storm Light and Mana Storm for teens. Hi, I'm Foley Yukar, successful businessman and inventor seen as a 30 under 30 list in Magical Business bi-monthly. And here's the best part, your boy's still got slots open for investment in his exciting new energy drink venture. You want to make 1 million sovereigns or what? Dude, you know, yeah, dude, I'm broke. Unfortunately, my finances are tied up in paying rent. Plus, it's literally all I can do to stay on top of my student loans. Oh God, even in a fantastical world, they have student loans. Oh please, you got a high-paying job in the capital. Your schooling set you up for success, and now you get to do the same for me. You know, the only thing I know for sure I got out of college is a debilitating fear standardized test. God, I sucked at those. Well, in the meantime, I got a couple questions for you. Fair enough, but let's circle back later to see how we can synergize our investment strategies. Alright, well, let's talk about your father's will. Don't get me started. The whole thing was a nightmare. You know, in the middle of this deeply personal moment of loss for my family and I, the Magisterium just jumps in, interrupting everything. It turns out they had a strict rule about not starting any personal or business relationships between Magisterium agents and beneficiaries in ongoing review. Wait, what? I was just testing the waters to see if anyone was interested in one of my solid platinum ideas when the Magisterium got all huffy. Didn't you just ask me if I wanted to invest in something? I tried making my case, but the pencil pushers insisted that Smeta and I can't have any untoward social or business contact with Magisterium people until they're done reviewing Pop's will. They're still reviewing the case even now, so my idea of naturally flavored jelly cubes will have to go unfunded. Alright, talk about personal tragedy. Tell me about your sister, dude. Hi, Rolly. Hi, Benji, you don't have to be scared of him. Oh my god. Come here, buddy. Come here. Don't hide behind me. Oh my god. Is Mena? Oh yeah, she's alright. It's funny because I'm supposed to be the big brother, but she gets all the respect in family because of her fancy schmancy arcane research. But it's, oh my god, which one of you assholes farted? Oh my god. Ooh-wee. Rolly, I think that was you, man. You did that on purpose. Ooh, then he's walking out of here. He did that crap on purpose. Oof. Came in my room just a crop dust. Oh my god. Oof. Sorry, folks. Benji, could you not sit behind me, dude? Come on. I don't want to roll over you on accident. Where was I? Oh, but it's whatever. I always loved an underdog, especially when they get to wear custom designer suits. Yeah, he crop dusted me for sure. Well, what about tell me about something about yourself? An invitation to talk about myself. Don't mind if I do. What have I done? You're looking at a champion inventor and businessman. My claim to fame is making and marketing my Magiweights, but a one-trick pony this man is not. I'm working on designing bespoke workout clothes, ethically sourced cufflinks, and someday the holy grail, luxury timeshares. Oh my god. No. What were you doing earlier today? I was in my room manifesting future business opportunities. When Oberon knocked on my door to tell me about the robbery, I was still in my silk PJs. He even searched the room for the gem and only found one thing of note. My handsome set of bark skin luggage. Only the best for this guy. What about the spell? You know, effectively casting that spell's beyond a humble third constellation level novice like myself. Okay, so he's a third level. I like to think of my real magic power as my business acumen. Okay, who do you think stole a gem then? Ah man, it kills me for saying this, but it's not looking great for my sis. My little sis. A Chinzilia rune in her room, the safe broken by powerful magic. I only hope you and your team find my pop's magic rock. Alright. I think that's really all there is to it here, so let's talk to the Sentry. Sorry, the only reason I'm here is to make sure these two don't try anything. If you'll excuse me, I have to finish reading an article about a healthy work-life balance. Ugh, I really can't bother him. I got his mental health to not think of. Oh, shut up. Well, I think that's everything. Okay, something tells me that's all the evidence I'm gonna find. Only thing left to do is let everyone know I'm ready for trial. Remember, it's okay that I don't have everything figured out for tonight's robbery. New evidence might be revealed at trial. Okay, well, with that being said and done, we can proceed to the trial, which I guess is going to take place in a dining car. I think right before it actually fully starts, I'll take a quick break, and come back afterwards. You make your way to the train's dining car, which has been hastily rearranged for the trial. From the defendant's box is Meta Fidgets. Foley sits off to the side, stifling a yawn. Zircon floats over, scanning your inventory of evidence to enter into the official court record. Still looking good with that hat, Zircon. While I appreciate your earlier counsel, do not expect any personal favors in the upcoming trial. You wearing that hat is the only personal favor I need. I appreciate your understanding. I wish us all a successful trial. Zircon hovers to the adjudicator bench, performing final diagnostic checks. So it's really happening. Don't worry, since it's your first time in court, I'll be your co-counsel. Plus, I'd give anything to wipe that smirk off Oberon's face. Willa leads you to a makeshift desk opposite Oberon, who's busy coiffing his hair. How are you feeling? And give it to me straight. I can read your mood like a picture book. Well, I really do think that as long as I get help, I'll be okay. If you ever need a lifeline, just think, "Help me, Willa," loud as he can. Can do, Willa. Zircon hovers up the adjudicator's bench. Excuse me. Zircon, what are you wearing? My physical appearance has no bearing on the proceedings. Love the new look, Z. Now, if everyone has finished interrupting, this is case number 451-23117A. Presiding adjudicator is myself, Automaton Zircon, model number 312173C23. Ismena, you are on trial for destruction of train property and stealing your father's power gem. I didn't do it! You've got to believe me! I know my inflection's all over the place, but I'm telling the truth. Inflection. If you are innocent, you have nothing to fear. Investigator Oberon, are you ready to serve as prosecutor? To think. In less than 1 hour, I'll have notched over another guilty verdict. Investigator Kabili, are you ready to speak to Ismana's defense? Oh, don't mind how much Kabili's sweating. Zirk, I'm the empath, and I say Kabili's great. Oberon, would you begin the trial by presenting your findings? Look alive, Kabili. Once he's done yakking, it'll be on you to cross-examine him. Oh, can't wait. The witness testimony of Ismana's motivation. All right. Well, with that being said and done, let's go ahead and take our break. I don't think the game's going to take long at all. I mean, I know I've been playing it for a little while, but I'm talking through everything. I've been just making random conversations during it, so I am kind of, prolonging this, but I don't think it should take too long, so we might be halfway done, if not even more. So, either way, let's go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, we will go through the trial and see for sure who stole the power gem and why. I will see you guys in a little bit. Alrighty, folks. Whew. Thank you all so much for being patient with me. Sorry, I am freezing right now. I'm taking my dogs out for a walk, and I don't know what happened to the weather, man. It is just freezing out there. Woo-wee. And I'm exhausted. Just a bunch of freaking back and forth. Alright. Let me catch up with the chat here. Seems like there's a lot I missed here. Oh, okay. Depending on how well the game does, there might be more. You'd love to make more of these games, especially since I spent so long learning how to do all the coding for this. Dude, yeah, I can only imagine.
What happened?
What happened? Yeah, I can only imagine, dude. But props to you. Like, I'm definitely enjoying this so far. I'm really enjoying the story, and hopefully this helps in some regard. This is my way of trying to help out developers, help out people I feel deserve it. So, yeah, man, we'll see what's up. Whoo! It's your first non-jam game. Okay, that's really cool. Hey there, Jaden. What's up, buddy? Oh, whoo-wee. I can't feel my damn hands. Oh, man. You're a little shy sharing over chat like this. We worked for 4 years at... Oh, woo! You worked at DreamWorks? All right, dude. Hell yeah, DreamWorks TV. That's awesome, man. Oh, there's a bot. Oh, thank you guys for taking care of that. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you, Peter. Whew. The break music reminds me you're making a song that's got some Egyptian inspiration. Dude, yeah, please share it when you're done. I'd love to hear it. Oh. Alright, dude. Thank you so much for being out here. I definitely do appreciate it. As a heads up, keep an eye out for my YouTube channel. I'll put the full VOD there. I really, really hope I'm able to help in some regard, you know, to get the name out here for the game. But, dude, you worked in the House of Shrek. Dude, hell yes. Once again, thank you so much for providing the code for this to me and allowing me to help share with my community. But yeah, full pick it up. Feel free to drop a review to help others find the game. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. All right, let's get into the witness testimony here. See what we can do. Ismena and her brother were named co-inheritors of the father's power gem. Importantly, Ismena is an arcane researcher who needs large stores of magical energy to power her studies into the development of new spellcraft. It's clear Ismena stole the gem to power her upcoming experiments. Without full control of this gem, Ismena has no other way to access sufficient magical power to continue her research. Well, that's a stupid-ass lie. She got accepted into that Oakley place. I was going to say succulent. Suspicious argument. I can't even say that word right. Ismena had motive to commit the crime. It's simple as that. Oh, it's all over. Hey, no defeatism here. Especially since Oberon said something that contradicts the evidence. He did? This guy's always twisting things around to get his way. Here's what you gotta do. Search things through Oberon's statements using the next and previous arrows as seen here. Don't bother clicking on these buttons for now. They're just for show. Where did those come from? While you're scrubbing through the testimony using the next and previous arrows, search for the one statement that contradicts the facts of the case. There's always one statement containing a lie during the testimony. Don't ask me how or why, that's just the biz. When you find a statement that feels incorrect, go into your inventory and look for a piece of evidence that proves the displayed statement must be false. Remember, selecting a piece of evidence inside your inventory lets you read a brief description of the chosen item. The last step is to present that piece of evidence and press the present button to show it to Zircon, so that you can make your own arguments and evidence advance the trial. It looks a little something like this. In case you're wondering, the present button will show up inside your inventory screen during the cross-examination sequence. If you're incorrect by selecting either the wrong statement and or the wrong piece of evidence, don't panic. Zircon will let you try again. Probably. I'm feeling better already. If you ever feel stuck during cross-examination, press the Talk to Willa button inside your inventory and ask yours truly for a helping branch. If you choose to talk to me, I can give you this whole explainer spiel again. I can also use my empath powers to give you a hint to help with the current cross-examination. If you're feeling pretty stuck, or really stuck, I can even tap into some next-level power to have you advance the trial without having to solve the current cross-examination puzzle yourself. Okay, well, that's a last resort thing. Be warned. That's basically asking the powers beyond the pale to do their job for you. Oh, how powerful are you exactly? All right, enough yakking. Let's get to the cross-examination already. Remember, find the one statement containing a lie, then present the piece of evidence that proves it. You'll do real great. This is chapter 1 in your rise to legal greatness. Okay, so it doesn't seem like the game has a press option. Like, we'll always have to find a contradiction and present. So the issue here is that he says that Ismeta has no other way to access magical power. It's like, well, dude, that's dumb, because if you look at Ismeta's letter, she had a welcoming letter to the Oaken Solarium University. She'll have access to the Solarium's vast conduit of arcane power. Wait a minute. What Terminator-ass music is playing right here? Dun dun. I kind of like it. It's simple, but I like it. You just said Ismeta stole the gem because it's the only way she could gain access to an arcane power source. What of it? Well, I don't want to say that you're lying, but what if I told you that she didn't need some pale tree gem because she just accepted a research position at the Oaken Solarium? What? I found her acceptance letter being used as a bookmark, which I love. Every time she closes her book, boom, a little hint of good news. Oberon, I'm surprised you missed this. More like he didn't bring it up because he didn't help his case. Wait, he can do that? That acceptance letter proves nothing. Perhaps she coveted the gem to unlock its arcane secrets for herself. It's a robotic heartbeat in sync with the music? Don't say my secret, dude. Wow, speculate much? Oberon, speak only to the facts for your arguments. Well, in that case, can I get on with my testimony? The circumstances of the crime are enough to prove Ismeta perpetrated tonight's robbery. You may carry on with your testimony. Seriously? Zircon's going to let Oberon continue? But I caught him on a clear lie! It'll take more than one contradiction to shut Oberon down and prove Ismeta's innocence. If only we had a more rigorous system of justice. On the bright side, check out Oberon's scowl. Ahem. Allow me to continue my statement. Chancellier runes. There are Chancellier runes present in both in Ismeta's room and at the crime scene. After examining the sigils, I found traces of arcane soot around both of them. This proves that they were both activated and successfully cast sometime tonight. As we all know, only 5th constellation level magicians can successfully activate the Chancellier rune to teleport. Lower level magic can't use a spell whatsoever. Lie! She literally told us that level 3 could use it, just to move a few millimeters. Since Ismeta is the only 5th level magician on board the train, we can deduce that she alone could have used those spells to break into the safe room and thus must be guilty of the crime. It's clear that Chancellier runes are involved in the crime. And since Ismeta is the only 5th constellation level magician on the train, the guilt must lie with her. Are we sure she's the only 5th level here? Who can say that what untold powers lie in the heart of us all? Upon reviewing the Magisterium Codex, I can confirm she is the only 5th constellation level magician on board. The train is otherwise populated with 3rd levels and a solitary 4th level. Well, who's the 4th level? At the mention of the 4th level, Oberon casts a showy I can't even say it. I know the word. Prestidigitation. Oh my god. Sorry. I have a bunch of marbles in my mouth at this point. Prestidigitation. That's what I'm trying to say. Spell to ruffle his billowing shirt. So I guess he's level 4. Don't get discouraged, Kabili. This is classic Oberon, brazenly showing off and using circular logic in his way. Honestly, it's working on both counts. Not this time. I can't put my branches on it, but there's something off with this theory. I wonder if he could teach me how to do that spell later. Kabili, you may proceed with your cross-examination. Remember, if you get stuck, you can always ask me for help. No, I think I got it, because he blatantly says that lower level magic users can't use a spell whatsoever. We know that's a lie because we take a look at the guide or note number 1. It says here that 3rd level can use a weakened spell of it. It's interesting, Oberon. You claim only 5th level magicians can perform the Transilio spell. Sorcery of that magnitude can only be performed by the Arcane Elite. Well, that's not what I found out, because according to the spell's official description, even the 3rd level magic user can successfully activate the Transilio rune for a minor version of the spell. While Ismena might be the only 5th level magician on board, the train's rife 3rd levels. The activated runes aren't enough to prove that Ismena had anything to do with the robbery. Humph! Kabyli's logic is sound. Well, Kabyli may be right in a technicality, it doesn't change the facts. How about I talk about evidence found in the safe room? There's more than enough there to prove Ismena's guilt in a senseless crime. As long as you can cease editorializing, you may proceed. Keep it up, Kabyli. It doesn't take an empath to tell you're chipping away at Oberon's resolve. Breaking the safe. As we'd established earlier, a Transilio rune was found in Ismena's room, which I believe she used to translocate into the safe room undetected. Once inside a safe room, she summoned an acidic pyrocanthus plant to melt the safe door open. There's no other plausible source of these leaves. This 5th constellation level summoning spell is a known specialty of Ismena's spellcraft, further implying her guilt. With the safe open, it'd be easy for her to reach inside and steal the gem. She then made her escape with a quickly sketched Transilio room before I caught her in the hallway. See, that one I'm a little unsure of where the contradiction was. I gotta take a look at it. So you can believe the safe was broken by a magically summoned pyrocantha plant. The evidence speaks for itself. As we just established, Ismena is only 5th constellation level caster on board the train. The truth is taking shape in my crystalline processing unit. Quick, Kabyli, get to cross-examining him already. Find that contradiction. Shoot, where is this one then? Well, he believes she used to translocate, but we don't know that yet. Let's see. I guess maybe this is what I'm a little bit iffy on here. She summoned an acidic pyrocantha plant to melt the safe door open. How? Like, but what evidence do you have that she summoned a plant here? I guess maybe that's what I'm getting at here. 5th constellation level summoning spell is a known specialty for Ismena's spellcraft, further implying her guilt. So it's this statement. I'm just not sure what I can present here. Because do we have anything regarding about the plant? I don't think we do. We have the one about her room saying that it looks masterfully and precisely drawn. So yeah, my thing is this, maybe. It says all organic and inorganic matter in the rune circle will teleport along with the caster. Is this kind of the same thing here? Because he's saying she summoned it. So he's saying, but if this means that they have to take it with us, and we have to be extremely still. This might be it, but I'm gonna ask Willa for help here. Let's ask for a hint. Oberon insists there's no possible source for the pyrocantha leaves other than them being summoned via magic. Did you know I can get partial empathetic readings from plants too? Just enough to get a sense of what they really are. I'm sensing these leaves have a far more commonplace origin than Oberon makes it out to be. So I have the right statement, but What, wait a minute. It's not the sandwich, is it? Where was the pyracantha plant? Was it used or talked about elsewhere? See, that's kind of what I'm thinking, Po Girl, because it's a beet, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. You think the beet and the tomato could have dyed the lettuce red, right? I just don't know if that's what they're going for here. Let's give that a shot. It's either that, the sandwich, or this thing with the whole organic and inorganic matter. I don't know yet. Let's try the lettuce first. Or sandwich. You know, when I first saw the leaves scattered around the safe, I noticed that they were covered in unusual red flecks. So it got me thinking, what if this wasn't a pyra whatever plant? If you can't pronounce the plant's name, how can you expect to identify it? I'd wager this isn't some magical acid plant. I bet anything it's actually ordinary lettuce. Lifted straight from this beet, lettuceless, and tomato sandwich. What? Yeah, see, okay, I'm glad I caught that. So beet juice was a means of dyeing cloth at one point. See, that I did not know, that it was used for actually dyeing cloth. But looking at the evidence again, I'm like, I guess there's the only thing that maybe makes sense, but okay. Those red flecks seen in the leaves, that's obviously from the beets in the sandwich. Kabili, can you prove this? Willa, did you just eat the evidence? Well, in my defense, it has a killer aioli. It's tangy, sharp, and completely unlike Oberon's theory. Grrr. If this is indeed lettuce, what is it doing at a crime scene? I bet it was planted to frame Ismeta, who's known to be familiar with the pyracantha plant spell. Well, before the defense breaks out the champagne to congratulate themselves, I just realized something. Why did my whole body just tense up? It's actually embarrassing. Earlier tonight, I found this slip of paper and never submitted for review. You cannot don't pull an Edgeworth. We're just out of my ass. Here's an updated autopsy review. And you only remembered it now? He always does this. Submits evidence late so the defense doesn't have time to review it. This is highly unprecedented, but if it's authentic and relevant to the case... Really? You're gonna let him get away with this? I'll allow this evidence to be entered into the record, because screw you. I know Zircon said he wouldn't grant me any favors, but come on! Oberon, please proceed with your testimony in light of this new evidence. Fine, a Transilio jump. What the hell? Okay. Let me just take a look here. So, who's my room? Because, okay, well, let's read his testimony first. Observe this note, which I'm certain was written in Ismeta's own thin hand. Wow, okay. When the note speaks of my room, that of course refers to Ismeta's room. If you'll forgive the dramatics, I can prove exactly where Ismeta teleported earlier tonight. For Ismeta's note, it's clear she exhaustively analyzed how to translocate her from her room directly to the safe room using a full 50-meter jump. There's nowhere else she could have landed. Because she's alive and well, it's obvious the spell was successful and carried her to her destination without any breaches in space-time. After gaining access to her room, a magician of Ismeta's power could employ any number of destructive spells to open a safe. Afterwards, she made her escape using a Transilio rune, thus leaving the same way that she came in. Simply put, this note proves Ismeta did the math to ensure a full 50-meter translocation jump could lead her precisely inside the safe room. If you'd like to review Ismeta's note, you may go over into your inventory and press the button that I've conveniently labeled as Note. You can see what that button looks like right there. Yeah, I see. Wow, can everyone make things randomly appear like that? Also, I have a question about the so-called evidence. What if Willa traveled less... Wait, Willa? Is this a typo? Like, wouldn't it be... Is meta if they're accusing her? Huh. What if Willa apparently traveled less than 50 meters? How do we know her jump distance for certain? After a thorough examination of the scorch marks around the room, I can definitely say this room was used to translocate exactly 50 meters. Really? And you're only telling us now? It wasn't pertinent until this moment. The forensic evidence is conclusive. The Transilio rune inside Ismeta's room was used for a full 50-meter jump. Well, what about the incomplete scribble in the lower right-hand corner of the note? It looks like something got cut off? It's drivel, mindless scribbles that while she works out the math of how to translocate to the safe room. Where'd she get the paper? Is that anything? This note is starting to feel like decisive evidence. I know Oberon's got us in a headlock, but you can find something. You've got to find something wrong with this note, or it's all over. I thought you were supposed to be encouraging. I'm just being honest. This paper sucks for us real bad, and the scorch marks around the room seems pretty inarguable. I had to assume the spell was used for a jump that traveled exactly 50 meters. Kabili, we await your cross-examination. Don't get distracted, Kabili. You can do it, probably. So one, we got a room chart for this car. We do. We'll take a look at it right now. We have the note. Two, if what I said before is true, she would land in Willa's room. Because that's the thing. Exactly, right? Now, we're claiming that this is... the star is... Oh, you mean like a chart besides the note? No, we just have this note. That's it. What if someone left the train using a rune? Possibly. Assuming this is Ismeta's room, and they're saying that the jump distance is 50 meters, that would put us at 50 meters from her room to safe room. But, like we were talking about earlier, depending on which direction she was going with the train, that would double it. She would actually go 100 meters into Willa's room. And it says here, train direction and something or another. The train was going, in this purpose, left. They were jumping right. We know that the train travels at 10 meters per second. I knew that this was going to work. I knew this was gonna come into place somewhere, but that would double it. So, I think it's a train ticket. I just don't know what the exact statements we should present it on. So, let's see. From Ismeta's note, it's clear she exhaustively analyzed how to translocate her room directly from her. There's nowhere else she could have landed. Maybe on this statement. Maybe. Let's see. Because she's alive and well, it's obvious the spell was successful and carried her to her destination without any breaches in space-time. See, I don't know about that one. After gaining my God. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm just checking something. After gaining access to the room, Magician of Ismeta's power could employ any destructive spells open to safe. So, yeah, I think it's the second statement here. And we can present... my logic is we present the train ticket because 10 seconds a meter, and then she's making a 50-meter jump. It's 100 meters. Okay, I think that's it. Judging by this map, Oberon claims that Ismeta's 50-meter translocation jump would have landed her exactly in the safe room. But you calculated it? This train goes 22 a little over 22 miles per hour, slower than you thought. Yeah, it is kind of slow. They said it's a blistering 10 meters a second, so... I thought you were speaking to Ismeta's defense. Oberon would be absolutely correct in his assumption, but he forgot to account for one thing. The speed of the train! What? The Transilio spell doesn't teleport the user instantly. When one activates a Transilio rune, they travel at a speed of 10 meters per second until they arrive at their destination. Ugh, math, please no! Thanks to this shameless bit of self-promotion, we know the train moves at a speed of 10 meters per second. Talk about convenient. Reviewing the note, we know that Ismeta was jumping in the opposite direction that the train was moving in, effectively adding the train's speed to her jump distance. Importantly, given her smudged writing in the lower left corner, we can tell that she was accounting for the train's speed, unlike a certain prosecutor I know. Ugh. When combining all this, we can deduce that Ismeta's 50-meter translocation jump couldn't have landed her in a safe room. Then where would she have ended up? Well, according to my calculations, the place she teleported herself was... Willa's room! What? Willa's room? Is this true? Willa, back me up here. If you were with Ismeta, that proves her innocence. Willa? Sorry, Kabili. I can't say... Oh, come on! Well, wait. This is where the bar tab's gonna come into play. Willa, you're serious? Ismeta, what about you? If I say anything, it'd risk... I've already said too much. I don't believe this for a moment. Neither witness is confirming it, and Kabili doesn't have a shred of evidence to back up his absurd claim. But if you do the arithmetic for the translocation jump... I know you just graduated, but we're not in school, Kabili. Besides, Ismeta is a powerful witch beyond our reckoning. Who knows what she's capable of? Willa, please, can't you help? Sorry, Kabili, you're on your own. Enough chatter. Oberon, please finish your testimony. I will do just that. This testimony has gone on long enough, and I'll finish with a simple question. Ismeta's location. You claim Ismeta was with Willa in her room. If that's true, what's the proof that Ismeta was inside Willa's room? If you don't have that proof, then your theory falls apart. Simple as that. Well, Kabili, what do you have to say for yourself? Any chance you change your mind about helping Willa? Cool. Yeah, very cool stuff. Okay, all I need is one final piece of evidence. We literally have this one statement, but I do think it's this bar tab. And we talked about this earlier, right? We know that Willa ordered a maple fizz. We know that Ismeta ordered the ginger root sour. Around 8:24, there was two of them. They one for each person. They're like their favorite drink that was ordered by Willa. Now, I'm not sure if this really means that they were in their room, per se, but that means that they were together. I would think so, anyway. That's not it! I'm dumb! Let me try again. Okay, so maybe I got a little ahead of myself. What's the proof that Ismeta was in her room? Maybe this is it? Because earlier they said it was a radiant blue. No, I mean, earlier it was dull and lifeless. But then maybe it was blue because she was happy she was with Ismeta? Maybe? I don't know what else I would go for. Let's try the scarred necklace. Okay, that might have been it. I may have been jumping the gun a little bit with the bar tab. Did you know that Willa's necklace is no ordinary accessory? It's a mood pendant that lights up responding to her changing emotions. When I first met her in a dining car, the gem inside was a dull gray. indicative of a neutral mental state. But then when I met Willa during my investigation, I saw her necklace was radiant blue and filled with brilliant energy. She said the necklace was powered up from a pleasant dream, but now I believe it came from a different source. Which is to say, I feel bad speculating about Willa and Ismeta's private lives. Kabilly! It's alright. Ismeta? Somehow I knew it'd end up like this.
What is the meaning of this?
Adjudicator, may I make a statement? I was hoping to avoid this, but now I see there was no other way.
You may proceed.
You ship it? Yeah, I think we all do now. This week, my whole world changed. Between getting the research position at the solarium and my father's passing, it felt like the ground was giving out below my feet. And in the midst of it all, I met the most charming woman. Aww, her gem turned bright fuchsia. Willa was assigned to assess Foley and I while the Magisterium reviewed the merit of my father's will. From the start, I knew it was improper to get involved with anyone from the Magisterium while they were reviewing my father's estate. Even so, talking to her made me feel grounded, relaxed, happy. We weren't planning to do anything, but then we ran into each other in the dining car. We got to talking, had a few drinks. Well, at least a few. We stayed in that corner booth until last call and thought, why not meet up later this evening? No expectations, just keep things casual. To try and be discreet, I decided to teleport into Willa's room directly so no one would notice. We both knew the risks, but mutually decided to go with it. So we left the bar, headed in different directions. Willa even shouted good night for the whole train to hear. Once I got to my room, I double-checked my math on a scrap of paper and I drew a Transilia rune on the floor. After steadying my nerves, I cast a spell and successfully teleported myself straight into Willa's room. Willa was elated to see me, and I felt pretty proud of myself for managing the Transilio jump on the moving train. And once we were together, you get the idea. Afterwards, I was too tired to teleport back like I had initially planned. As I was getting ready to leave, Oberon knocked on Willa's door, insisting she help him investigate the robbery. She hid me from view, telling Oberon she needed a minute to freshen up. After he left, I just tried sneaking back to my room, but I wasn't quiet enough. Oberon called me further down the hallway, thinking I had done this senseless crime. Oberon must have found my note when he searched my room. I'm sorry for withholding the truth. I didn't want to expose Willa for breaking Magisterium law, especially after she'd been so kind to me. Ismeta. That's what happened. I apologize for not telling everyone sooner.
Did they do what I think they did? Yeah, it sounds like it. Hey, they're all adults.
That is quite the development.
I can't believe this. You think I buy her only revealing this now?
She is not without cause. Consorting with potential estate beneficiaries during the Magisterium's ongoing review is strictly prohibited. But her meeting was harmless. We didn't talk about her dad's estate once.
And you expect us to believe you? The person she was with?
Regardless of intent, the law relieves no room for doubt in this matter. Okay, but since I can attest that she was with me, we can rule out her involvement in tonight's robbery. At least we can do that, right?
Need I remind you that only I have the power to adjudicate this case?
Ismeta, Willa, I had no idea it'd come to this. It's okay, Kabilly. You didn't know. And now, thanks to you, everyone in the Magisterium's gonna find out when this trial record goes public. Oh no, Willa! Our feelings aside, it is Magisterium policy to report the truth of all things, no matter the consequences. Zircon's singular eye takes an uncharacteristically somber look. Oh. Zircon, you okay? Zircon refocuses, resuming his steely gaze. Putting this matter aside, our trial is not yet concluded. Because if Ismeta isn't responsible for tonight's robbery, who is?
Why is everyone looking at me? You've got to be joking. You think he did it?
I propose a brief recess before we resume our trial. I hope for all our sakes that we discover the truth before we arrive in the capital. Looks like everyone split up to catch their breath. Except for Oberon, who's in the middle of giving Foley quite the pep talk. Before the trial picks back up, maybe I should talk with someone. I can check in to see how they're doing and maybe learn a little more about them. Something tells me I only have time for one conversation. I think I'll... confront Oberon about why he's insistent on prosecuting his meta. Make sure his meta and Willa are okay after he revealed their affair. Check in on Zircon to see how they feel about their role as adjudicator. Center myself for the rest of the trial by spending time with my own thoughts. Well, I guess this kind of gives you a reason to play the game 4 times. Actually, hold on a minute. There is a save option here. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I can go through all 4, and see what's what. I'm gonna do that. Maybe it's a little bit of save scumming, but I kind of want to do that. Actually, how do I load? Oh, never mind. So let's just go down the line here. Like the one I really want to do is I want to talk to Oberon because like he does seem very suspicious. And I know, Poor Girl, you want to see more about checking in his meta and Willa, and Jaden wants to check Zircon. We'll go through each one. You walk over to Oberon just as Foley goes to refill his coffee mug.
You're gonna rue this day. First for accusing me, and more importantly, for not investing in Monostorm.
Foley makes I'm watching you eyes before exiting. You approach Oberon's scribbling notes.
Let me guess. You come to gloat?
I gotta ask. You're still pushing as meta for this?
Well, we spoke earlier. You wisely refused to share your suspicions with me. While I respect your discretion, I can't help but hope you'll come to see things my way.
I don't see I don't see things anybody's way. I'm in this for the truth.
Then you should agree that his meta is the most likely culprit, compared to the capitalist hack.
Is there something you're not telling me? Is he paying you? Maybe you invest in one of the companies, or...
Are you accusing me of taking a bribe?
I'm just trying to understand where you're coming from here.
You know, there are limited ways to move up in the magisterium. One can be born into a political dynasty, but buy your way with enough social cachet, or... I guess. Whatever. Or... That's not cachet. Fuck, whatever. Create an unimpeachable record of criminal prosecutions.
So, all this is for a promotion?
It's meant to write the laws, not merely... I'm meant to write the laws, not merely enforce them.
Well, there's more to our work than moving up the ladder, you know. And if you're willing to subvert justice now, what makes you think you'd be a good legislator when the stakes are even higher?
Look at you. So self-righteous and sure. I can't wait to take you down a peg.
You sound pretty confident for someone arguing the wrong side.
I wouldn't be so smug. The rest of tonight's trial should prove quite instructive for you.
Yo, Zerk, you finish this trial tonight or what? Apologies, I was recollecting pleasant, less eventful journeys.
Best luck in the rest of the trial, Camille.
So far, your performance has been most entertaining. You turn your back at Oberon, but he's already gone to Foley, giving him one final pointer. I know this shouldn't be my takeaway from that conversation, but I have got to find out who his tailor is. Okay. So, let's try the other ones. Let's check out Ismeta and Willa. Ismeta and Willa. You approach Ismeta and Willa, who sit across from each other, swirling mugs of tea. There he is. Solid work in that trial, Kabili. You don't need to think of my name in all caps once. You didn't think my name all caps once. Although I did ask for help once. What are you talking about? I did that basically the whole time, Willa. Actually, I came to see how you two are holding up. Oh, Cabby, that is so sweet. If I'm being honest, I feel like I just, what? Defolated? Yeah, in front of the whole room. Or defoliated, whatever. To think, we said we'd keep this casual. No drama. I should have known. Drama's my whole thing. Willa, Ismeta, I'm sorry for my part in all this. Exposing you like this was not my intention. Oh, this isn't your fault, Kabili. Yeah, what she said. Us meeting up tonight was our choice. I just worry about you, Willa. You're the one who will have to face the consequences. The Magisterium is exacting in all things. Maybe they'll go easy on you, Willa. They're always talking about giving everyone a fair shake. Oh, you sweet summer sapling. They're gonna run me through the ringer. Even if I get to keep my job, it's going to be non-stop seminars, workplace training, mindfulness retreats. Oh no, Willa, I can't help but worry. Did I make everything worse? Hey, don't you get all sad on me. I don't care about the Magisterium's annoying rules on interfering with inheritance audits. It's a bad rule, and they're so stupid for enforcing it. It's my nature to grow wild and free. They can try to stick me on a trellis, but they can't change who I am. Well, to think I came over to encourage you. I gotta say, I love seeing Wilma up on her high horse. There's room for more people up here. It's a big horse. What? Okay. Count me in. Oh, I thought they were talking about other people too. I'm like, hey! Adjudicator, a brief recess should have ended 5 minutes ago. Okay. You and Willa say goodbye to Ismena, return to desk. Thanks for coming over to talk, Billy. I appreciate our little heart-to-heartwood. It's the least I can do. As a token of my appreciation, spoing! Willa sprouts a flower on her shoulder, hands it over to you. Aw, Willa! Shh. Aw, shh. Zircon's going to start proceedings. Okay, cool. Let's check with Zircon. You approach Zircon, admiring the reflection in the room's chandelier. Alright, Peter, thank you so much for coming out. I definitely appreciate it. You have a good night. I can confirm this headpiece remains pleasing. That's great. It really accentuates your giant pupil. I know it to be a trifle, yet its presence seems to complete something I cannot adequately explain. Glad to hear it. I actually came over to chat and see how you're doing. What do you wish to speak about? I've seen a few adjudicator demonstrations, but I've not spoken one before like this. What's it like being, yourself? I was created to perform my role as adjudicator, and I do so as my mother Belsum Callum prescribed. You mean Callum of the Key? I had no idea you were constructed by such a storied machinist. She was a true innovator and compassionate creator. The values she encoded in me, both mechanically and personally, I cherish to this day. Well, that's good to hear you had a good teacher. I can't imagine how hard it must be to do this kind of work. Depending on your judgment, people's lives hang in a balance. I'm not sure I can handle all that pressure. This responsibility is all I have known. Though I was designed to be neutral in the execution of my office, I must confess, I have been known to feel conflicted about my role. What do you mean? Despite protocols, I find myself musing on the consequences of today's case. It appears Willa and Ismeta's affair has no bearing on this criminal matter, yet per decorum, it must be included in the official court record. And when it gets out, it'll have repercussions for Willa. It may even affect Ismeta's reputation at the solarium. Their lives will be negatively impacted just to establish Ismeta's alibi. Recording the full truth is protocol, but is it just? Unfortunately, I was not programmed to handle situations where my drive to enforce the law conflicts with my personal interpretation of justice. What if someone, I don't know, spilled a gin and cucumber soda on your gem processors? Are you insinuating I expunged the affair from the court record? Oh, you weren't recording this, were you? Even if I did not believe Willa and Ismeta should be punished for their actions, protecting them would not be without risk. Wait, so you could do it? It is possible to redact parts of the case record, which would effectively hide the affair. Although it is possible that I might be discovered for redacting information that has no express need to be thusly obfuscated. What's the over-under on someone finding out? It is impossible to know for certain. Only a select few have sufficient privileges to view redacted materials. It is a perplexing moral quandary. If you were in my chassis, what would you do? Really? You're asking me? Your insight about my headpiece was most wise. I mean, the choice is up to you. But if I was in your chassis, I'd... Oh. Is this another thing I could choose? Honestly, if it was me, I would hide it. Because I don't want any... But I am worried about freaking... What's his name? About Zircon, too. But I think ultimately I would probably redact the affair. So... hey, what's up, Justin? How's the game been? I'm liking it. It's a cute little story, and I'm putting two and two together. Pretty okay. I mean, there was one thing I'm like, but yeah, they did nothing truly wrong. I mean, that is true. They didn't, they didn't really talk about the what is it called? Is it Magisterium? Magisterium. They didn't talk about those affairs. They literally were just a booty call. I don't know what else to say. That's really what it was. So, and they're adults. We shouldn't be, judged on that. People want to get together. Cool. I know it's risky, but we've got Will and his men's well-being to think of. They shouldn't be punished just to prove an alibi. I feel the same way. And if I do not exercise my autonomy, what purpose does it serve? It is done. Just like that? You did it? I will alert Willa and Ismeta after the trial. You're a brave automaton, Zircon. Your sentiment is noted. Alright, the duration of recess is at my discretion, Oberon. Suck it. He turns back to you with an unexpectedly playful eye roll. I appreciate your counsel in this matter. I hope you don't feel like I pressured you. To the contrary, you have helped me live up to my creator's hopes for me. In this unit's estimation, your performance has been more than adequate. You're too kind, Zircon. He bobs low, a facsimile of a nod. Turning, they float back towards the adjudicator bench. I hope Zircon and I did the right thing. Okay. You're wondering from the 4 options, it depends on the outcome? Possible too, yeah. Like, that's why this could be a good example of playing the game 4 times. Or saving it 4 different ways, it's up to you guys. But, yeah. It is a he said, she said moment, exactly. Don't yuck yums. At worst, it's just an official calming down civilian with mutual drinks. Yeah, but you guys know how, like, big entities can be like, right? It's like, oh, we gotta follow protocol, blah, blah, blah. It's all stupid. All right. But now I'm curious. What happens if we choose to report the full transcript? I think changing the record would do more harm than good. If you hid information and the Magisterium found out, they'd make everyone pay the price. It might make things worse for Will and his meta, and to say nothing what they do to you. I appreciate your concern for our well-being. I only hope the Magisterium will not be too harsh in their reprimanding of Willa. You and me both. Let's see. This is estimation. Bob's low. Okay. So, there's that. Obviously more to the point, but we saw that if we did redact it, it kind of goes along with what Zircon was willing to do, what he really wanted to do. So there's that. So finally, let's take a look at what happens if we center ourselves for the rest of the trial by spending time our own thoughts. Honestly, this case has been pretty overwhelming. All the back and forth with Oberon, Zircon's beeping and booping, Willa being Willa. Hopefully she's not mood reading me right now. I'll take this time to relax, unwind, and hey, yesterday's edition of the Capital Clarion. I wonder if there's a new article from Sasha Brewster in here. I never actually see the plays she reviews, but her summaries and read between the line critiques are the funniest things ever. Oh, yes. Yes. She's reviewed the musical revival of the Baron Lord Damnell's wedding. That place sounded like a 3-carriage pileup. I can't wait. You settle in by the window, diving into Sasha's diatribe against the play's brave modernization of a story best fit for the annals of history. You briefly forget everything except for the razor-sharp daggers hidden in the lines of her prose. Take all the time you need. Play will continue when you advance. Oh, so I guess literally if I didn't push, advance it, I just could stay here. But okay. Yo, Zerg, we're finishing this trial or what? Okay. But Sasha's about to tear into the lead actor's accent. I take it you're a fan, Miss Brewster. Hey, don't spoil it. I'm a week behind. Wait, are you both fans too? Fortunately, each new article in the Capital Clarion is uploaded to the Codex for adjudicator review. I never thought I'd see today. Something we all agree on. Though a discussion of her latest would be edifying, we have other pressing matters to attend to. Good, because if someone gave away the ones I've been behind on, watch out. It'd be crime time. Okay. So, now we have a choice, ladies and gentlemen. What do we officially go with? Do we confront Oberon? Which I feel like it didn't really do much. Comforting his Meta and Willa, which I think the only thing maybe happened there is she sprung like a flower on us, like on our shoulder. I'm not really sure. It seemed like the biggest one was like, yeah, definitely hiding the affair by talking with Zircon. So, there's that. I mean, and also, but talking, thinking of ourselves, we found out we all like the same article, I guess. But it seems like the biggest impact probably would be hiding the affair by speaking with Zircon. So that is what I'm going to go with. But hey, this gives you all a reason to pick up the game for yourselves or tell others about it. Pick the different choices and see how it can possibly end that way. So let's go ahead and redact it. He's happy. Let's continue. I call this court back to order. After questioning his meta, I'd like to continue by calling Foley to the stand. I can't believe this. You make a couple of good business decisions and suddenly everyone thinks you're hiding something? Don't worry, you won't have to testify for long until we get back to the questioning his meta of her so-called story. Wow, he's really got it out for her. Foley, please begin your testimony. Listen up, and I'll tell you what your boy's innocent. Why your boy's innocent. His motivation. I love my father. I'd never besmirch his name by brazenly stealing what he generously left for my sister and I. Why would I pinch that bauble anyhow? Financially, professionally, or especially financially, I'm killing it. My business is all blue skies and green lines. That's bullshit because his magic weight things are all stupid. Speaking of, I actually have a new and exciting business prospect still looking for up-and-coming investors. Hit me up later, or after, and we'll make some real magic. A sound defense. As you can see, Foley had no motive to commit the crime. Ergo, he must be innocent. Just like you were right about his meta? Try and ergo that. If the defense is so confident, why don't you proceed with questioning? Thanks for that, Willa. You'll be fine. Just keep finding the contradiction and presenting the evidence that proves why that statement's false, or which of the statements is a lie. I don't know. I don't think he said he's broke, but if I go to this statement here, he's like, oh, he's successful, blah, 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 blah. So we got a couple things here, maybe. He has this ugly-ass scarf, which is like, well, it's broken and scored. I don't think it has anything to do with this yet. What I do want to talk about is his, the complaints, right? Like, right here, it talks about how he has a bunch of complaints about his business that has those weighted kettlebells. You'd imagine that would take a huge hit financially if he's getting a bunch of complaints and God knows what the hell's happening with that. So that's what I'm thinking this is going to lead to. So you say you're doing well, financially, personally, all that. Honestly, I'm thinking of writing a self-help book. Step 1, everyone buy a book. Well, buy my book, I should say. You know, that's interesting to hear because during my investigation, I stumbled across signs of a design flaw in your magic kettlebell business. It turns out that after 6 months of use, a spell controlling the kettlebell's weight malfunctions, causing the weights to get heavier and heavier. What? But I just bought one! If this malfunction is as widespread as the complaints made it look, I'd say Foley's business is about to be in serious trouble. Foley, is this true? Not gonna lie, some people have had issues with their magic-weights, but these are outliers, a normal case of user errors. If you search thoroughly through his correspondence, you'd find out Foley has already shipped replacements and refunds to the aggrieved parties. I see, so it's less dire than Kabili theorized. Seriously? Oberon's throwing Foley a lifeline like that? Don't act surprised. Oberon's always trying to get a guilty verdict, no matter what the cost is. Makes me wonder if a political system that rewards certain judicial outcomes is prone to chronic misuse. If that's not a statement in today's world, I don't know what is. Let's move on from speculating on the solvency of Foley's weight business. For the record, we're very solvent and have tons of stock available. It cool if I drop a coupon code for readers in the official trial notes? Please continue your testimony. Entry into the safe room. Let's run a hypothetical, okay? How do I, a lowly 3rd constellation level magician, get inside the safe room sometime before 2 a.m.? Unlike Big Sis, I can't teleport myself anywhere I want. And as for that window in the safe room, I like to keep trim, but even I've got my limits. No way I could shimmy through that thing. And the cherry on top, even if I wanted to break in, your man Oberon was keeping watch the whole night. Unless you can explain how I might have snuck inside, there's no way I'm your guy. Game, set, and match. As much as Kabili and Willow would like to paint Foley as a suspect, it's impossible for him to have committed a robbery without me noticing. Oberon makes a cogent argument. Oh yeah? Wait until you hear what Kabili's got to say. Hey, don't push me. My arm doesn't bend that way. Okay, so this one, I think it goes back to this whole thing about how they can use a weakened version of it, but it's only a few milliseconds. Excuse me, a few millimeters. Even if we take into consideration the like the train traveling and all that, I don't know what room his room was. So I don't know. Excuse me. See, I'm a little iffy on this. The scarf of a broken scratch tip. This could mean, I think, ultimately, that he hurriedly scribbled the Transilio rune in the safe room by using the needle. But I don't think we can do that yet. I don't know. I still think it might be this. Yeah, so this one I'm just a little iffy on where I should present. Can't teleport myself anywhere I would want. Oh, let's get rid of this. For that window in a safe room, I like to keep trim, but even I've got my limits. No way I could shimmy through that. Even if I wanted to break in, your man O'Brien was keeping watch the whole night. Yeah, okay, let's ask for help here, because I'm thinking of this one on like the first statements, but I just don't know exactly. Foley insists he couldn't have snuck into the safe room because Oberon kept watching outside the safe room door all night. I'm sensing Oberon wants us to move past this point. You know, if Oberon slipped up inside, even if he was briefly derelict in his duties, it'd give Foley the perfect opportunity to break in. Oh, that's a good point. I totally forgot. I kept saying, who the hell's Bob? I was like, his name's Oberon. I just saw right now, if you look into this contract here, his name is Bartholomew Oberon Bazard. Bob. He went to get a drink at 1:17 a.m. Man, okay, that was a good one. I was gonna be way off on that one. Foley claims Oberon was watching the door all night and that he never once took a single break. Repeating Foley's words in a suspicious tone of voice isn't helping your case as much as you think. Oberon's quick to change the subject because he and I both know Oberon wasn't at his post the whole time. Ooh, was he sneaking off to see someone too? If you take a look at a dining car's bar tab, we can see clearly a purchase was made precisely at 1:17 a.m. by someone with the initials of Bob. Is this a relevant detail? I think so, considering Bob are the initials of an individual named Bartholomew Oberon Bazard. Oberon, or should I say Bartholomew, is this true? I thought that there would be no harm in stepping away for a moment. After all, I was stationed there for several hours, and plenty of people go by their middle name. Oberon, Bartholomew, whatever you prefer to be called, dereliction of duty is a serious matter. Bartholomew. And all the things a honey jackfruit bliss? For the record, my infraction is of a significantly lesser magnitude than Willa's. Oh, sure. At least I don't fail to protect valuable goods, Bart. Don't call me that! This is not the arena to discuss your respective transgressions. I've yet to hear how my absence matters. How do we know this has any bearing on the case? You didn't discover the theft until 2 a.m. What if the crime was perpetrated at 1:17 a.m., when you weren't at your post? That would be a relevant detail not for the fact that Foley couldn't break into the room even if I was gone for the whole night. If that is so, then I invite Foley to continue his testimony. Wait, really? You're just gonna let him continue after all that? Unless I am missing an update to my Arcane lattice work, I believe I am still the sole adjudicator of this trial. You didn't have to get that sassy, Zircon, damn. We will revisit how Oberon abandoned his post at a later date. I'd expect nothing less. Wow, I didn't think I'd seen Oberon so demoralized before. As for now, let's hear more of Foley's testimony. That's what I like to hear. Let's put this case and ourselves to bed. Part 2. So Oberon stepped away for a few minutes. Big whoop! That doesn't change a thing. I was asleep in my room when this crime happened. Even if I wanted to embarrass myself trying to get inside a locked safe room, how could I do it? An upstanding master of commerce like myself doesn't have the right tools to break into anything. And unless you've forgotten, I'm too low a constellation level for a proper Transilio jump. I don't even have the arcane juice to jump the piddling 1 meter necessary to face through that door. You're pushing a narrative about me that's wrong, insulting, and I'm not ashamed to say, hurtful. Now let's be done with this and we can ditch the real perpetrator, or catch the real perpetrator. As you can see, Adjudicator, Foley had nothing to do with this. There's no evidence tying him to the safe room, and he's without a means to gain entry. These are valid points. Unless Kabili and Willa find something that ties Foley to the crime scene, I see no reason to continue interviewing him. What? But we just established he had a clear and free time frame to break in. Hey, no spiraling. There must be something connecting Foley to the crime. Here's hoping I can find the evidence. Kabili, begin the cross-examination. Alright, so... An upstanding master of commerce like myself doesn't have the right tools to break into anything. And then he's like, he's too low a constellation for a proper Transilio jump. I don't even have the arcane juice to jump the piddling 1 meter necessary to phase through that door. He's right. Wait. Somebody who's good at math, help me out here. If you account the 10 meters a second going back, going against the train speed, and you apply that to the idea that a weakened version of spell can teleport a few millimeters away, could that possibly equate to at least 1 meter? I don't know. If he was in the room adjacent, right? So, that's what I'm really hung up on. He straight up talking about that 1 meter necessary. So, he could have been in Ismeta's room. It's his sister, whatever. I think maybe it is this. This one's easy. Billy, I don't think that one's right. No. Let him continue. I mean, easy, everyone. I need another minute. Damn it. Okay. I still think it's this statement. I really do. But maybe it nothing to do with this whole teleporting a few millimeters away thing. The bro said, no, let him cook. So this one says, upon casting it, and it doesn't matter what level it is, everything inside the rune turns incorporeal and travels at a speed of 10 meters per second. So maybe this one? Nope. Okay, I don't know how many errors I can get here, so damn it. I feel like I'm right there at the cusp of it. I just don't, let's ask Willa for help. Okay, so they're talking about the tools. So, okay. I can sense Foley's frustrated when he says he doesn't have the tools necessary to break into the locked safe room. While Foley may not possess a crowbar and enchanted skeleton key, I bet he owns something that can get him inside. So, it's the second statement. I mean, is he talking about the scarf? Oh, I'm a dumbass. Like, okay, I thought the whole thing about being a broken scratch tip was okay, you know what? No, it's twofold. He used this as a lockpick. I don't know why I didn't think about that. He used it as a lockpick, and then to get out of the room, I think he used it to make the rune. I think. There you go. You're glad they have Willa able to do the puzzle for you for accessibility? Absolutely. Now, people may complain about that. Like, yeah, he makes it too easy. It's an option, damn it. Pro tip, knitting needles are pretty thick. Too thick for lockpicking. Are they? Oh. Well, there you go. When searching Foley's room, I found his latest knitting project. The scarf was a mess, but more crucially, let's take a look at the knitting needles. You take that back about my scarf! The metal in the needle is bent and pockmarked that's been improperly used, Kabili, where are you going with this? I bet if we test a knitting needle in the safe room door, I'm sure the damage will be consistent with the needle being used to pick the lock. Foley, do you care to explain this? Your Honor, Kabylie is twisting Foley's knitting inexperience to try and place him at the scene of the crime. Foley, how long has the needle been broken like that? Since, days ago. Weeks, actually. Come on, Oberon. You expect us to believe this guy's been knitting with a broken needle this whole time? Look at this scarf. No way is anyone this bad without good cause. Unfortunately, I am not equipped with knowledge of amateur knitting. How about I continue my testimony, huh? I'll spin a yarn and I'll make it clear that I didn't do it. You hear that wordplay? He's definitely getting worked up. Keep on him. Yeah, I can't imagine anybody would even bother trying to knit with a broken needle tip like that. So maybe my knitting needles are scuffed. That doesn't prove I used them to get into the safe room, okay? Also, that safe is a Mikomi Mosler from the era of the Baron Lords. A Mosler's access codes change every hour, and their tumblers are made of glass rock to prevent arcane tampering. There's no way I could have gotten our access codes off Oberon. He's a nice guy, but he's not that nice. The nail in the coffin? The safe's made of a nigh indestructible cabo-chronite. A paltry third-level magician like myself doesn't know a spell powerful enough to rip it open like that? You ever think the works of great magicians are beyond the legs of regular folks like us? I'm starting to think that this thing can't be solved. Seriously? Another of these he couldn't have done it because it was physically impossible situations? His logic still stands. I simply am not seeing how he could have perpetrated the crime. But he's so clearly hiding something! And whose job is it to prove that arduous claim? Really walked into that one, huh? Yeah, that one is on me. Okay, so this one, it kind of goes back to how we saw how the legs of it were kind of like chopped off. I think it goes back to number 2 here, where it says use extreme caution when positioning your rune. All organic and inorganic matter will teleport along the caster. That could open it, right? Maybe? Hell yeah, I'm right. See, this is why I love Ace Attorney. It's like, I got it. You know, something interesting. A perfect circular arc has been cut out of the safe. Oh, as with the overwrought intro. The only thing that could have made such an incision was the Transilio rune. I don't follow. How could a translocation spell open the safe? What if a corner of the Transilio rune was placed directly below the safe? The Transilio rune teleports not only living creatures, but any and all materials standing within this rune's area. Where are you going with this? If you placed a rune directly below the safe, you'd be able to teleport the walls of the safe away, effectively splitting the safe in two. Whoa, really? You could do that? Even though Foley's a third-level magician who's only capable of teleporting something in a couple of millimeters, that's all he'd need to break the safe door wide open. Ugh! And what about the pyracantha plant? I mean lettuce. If we review the dining car's accounts, I bet we find a receipt for a BLT that with Foley's name on it. Time to face facts. Foley has knowledge of the spell, access to the room, and motive to steal the gem. You... Adjudicator Zircon, this is all conjecture. Be that as it may, it's starting to sound increasingly plausible. You would know. I know what? I just remembered something that may end this whole charade. Of course you just conveniently. Seriously, you're doing this again? Zircon, get him out of here! When I stepped away for a drink, I was indeed briefly derelict in my duty of watching the door. But after receiving my drink, a process which only took 2 minutes, I sat in a chair, giving me an unobstructed view of the safe room door. Though it's possible Foley could have broken into the room while I had my back turned, it's inconceivable that he would have enough time to do all this subterfuge and then sneak out the door without my notice. Yeah, but what if he was real sneaky? I will not tolerate baseless supposition in this court. It was worth a shot. In light of Oberon's update, how about I put the finishing touches on my testimony?
In plain terms, I can spell out how I couldn't have done this crime. Easy street. Let's put an end to this let's put an end to this waste of our time, once and for all. I look forward to hearing what you have to say. Well, that makes one of us. Am I right, Kabili? Why is Zircon still glaring at me? Escaping the safe room. Where's that note? Unfortunately, we only saw that note in one instance. We can't look at it again. So let's get along with your deluded theory that I somehow did this. I steal the gem, but then how do I escape without being seen? As I keep reminding everyone, I don't have superpowered magic. Unlike Ismeta the Incredible, I can't just swoop, teleport back to my room. There's no roof access, no possibility of escaping through the window. I'm stuck in that room, hypothetically speaking, of course. The only logical explanation is I didn't escape that room because I'm not the one who stole it. You're asking the wrong questions. I'm not your guy. Someone else must have done this. Maybe someone in this very room. Well, he's an idiot because right now, right here, if you look at the stolen power gem, it helps magicians cast spells as if they were a higher constellation level. So even though he's a 3rd level, if he had the power gem, boom, he's automatically at 5th level or higher. He could have easily escaped. Suck it. Seriously? That's not testimony, it's more circular logic. If Foley had no plausible egress from the room, Kabili's theory of him committing a crime cannot stand. Kabili, I can sense Foley's clothes are cracking. Just one more contradiction, you'll snap him like a breadstick. Crack! Kabili, begin the cross-examination. Oh, hell yeah. See, I'm confident here. You don't have superpowered magic? Bullshit. So, you steal a gem and are confronted with a problem. You need to escape, but you can't get out the front door in case you've seen. Ordinarily, you can only teleport a few millimeters. But these weren't ordinary circumstances, were they? Just get to the point already. When Foley opened the safe, he had in his possession the power gem. I just keep thinking about the power glove. It's so bad. Foley never needed to worry about an escape route. The object of the heist powers the perfect getaway. By using the stone, he could have powered a Transilio spell up to the 5th level and successfully teleport back to his own room. Gah! But what about the missing Transilio rune? If her theory is true, there should be 2 Transilio runes inside the safe room. Wasn't there a smudge on something below the safe? Oh crap, I forgot about that. I'd bet that smudge was from Foley trying to wipe away evidence of his first rune. He couldn't hide the second one because he used it to teleport himself away. So Foley had motive, means of entry, and a way to escape. All I hear is conjecture, baseless accusations being lobbed at Foley, a pillar of the community. If he went through all this work to steal a gem, then where is it? Willow rushes over, giving Foley a pat down. It's not on his person. Willow gives Oberon a quick once-over too. It's not on Oberon either. You dare suspect me? Well, if it's not on Foley, maybe it's in his room? I can't believe this. If that's what it takes, fine. I'll take everyone to look for yourselves. I have nothing to hide because I'm innocent, you hear? Innocent! No, he's not. Before anyone can stop him, Foley exits, marching towards his room. Is anyone gonna stop him? Come, let us see what there is to see. A fidgety Foley leads everyone down the hall, throwing open the door to his room. See for yourself. No gem! Looking around, you find a room unchanged since the last time you saw it. It's in the clock, by the way. I'm just calling it out right now. It's in his shoulder. Oberon does some token half-hearted looking. We're wasting our time. I've already searched and it's not here. I'm afraid if we can't locate the gem, we'll have to drop all accusations against Foley. Seriously, Zircon is the most dramatic automaton. It all comes down to this, Kabili. Where do you think the gem's hiding? Well, before presenting my guess, let's see what I can remember from this room.
Well, the big thing is this clock is not working, so per se. But it's arcane powered. Get it? So if we use the gem on the thing, it's not that it's broken, it's like it's super fast. That's the way I'm looking at it. Hey there, Lunar. How are you doing today, buddy? It's got a standard issue magic-powered clock. I'm pretty sure I made some joke about how it was running too fast and that I wanted to go home. Very on brand for me, turning soul-crushing anxiety into lame-o jokes. How can I forget Foley's needlessly fancy rug? On closer inspection, stained from countless in-room meal services. That's an idea. Maybe the gem's in the center of the yarn. Oof. Too bad I'm too weak to pull it apart with my hands. Jeez, dude. Maybe he threw the power gem out the window to hide the evidence? He could have made some kind of plan to recover it later after a train stopped. Foley has an entire wardrobe worth of expensive clothing. Maybe he hid the stone somewhere inside here? There wasn't anything too spicy in the desk or in its drawers where I first looked. Maybe I didn't look hard enough. Oh, can I present now? Or maybe not. The gem's located. It has to be. It has to be this. Please. When I first saw the clock was running fast, I didn't think anything of it. But then I remember the power gem lends its charge to nearby spells and magical objects, effectively supercharging them. It's not happenstance that the spell power clock is running fast. It's doing that because the power gem is inside the clock. Ding! There it is! You reach in the clock, pulling out a brilliant azure stone. My retinal scans indicate that this is indeed the power gem. Whew! Imagine how embarrassing that would have been if I got it wrong. I can't believe it! It was right under our noses the whole time! Foley, it was you? You stole it? All I wanted was a stupid gem. My sister's got the brains, the accolades, and all I got are multiple filings for bankruptcy. So the issues with the Magiweights were worse than I thought. When Pops passed, I thought I was about to get a lifeline. Finally, he's gonna support my business in death since he never did it in life. But then the Magisterium sticks its nose where it doesn't belong by reviewing his will, holding everything up. Instead of doing me a solid, the only thing the Magisterium releases is his power gem. And my Pops, he had the gall to stipulate I had to share it with his meta. Foley, I had no idea you were in trouble. So what if I invested in crypto? Is that so wrong? Who cares if I bought a couple NFTs? You think I want your sympathy? I don't need you or your pity. The only thing I need is... Before anyone can move, Foley grabs a power gem out of your hands. Everyone, stay back! Foley flips over the rug, revealing a Transilio rune drawn on the flip side. Look out! The rune's ready to pop! Nah, don't magic me! Don't magic me! He's got a rock! Foley, let's be reasonable. I tried that. This is all I've got left. Do not do this, citizen. Whatever, you floating eyeball automata. I don't have to do what you say, what anyone says. Foley, please, we can still fix this. What's the fix? Everyone got exactly what they wanted. The Magisterium solved their case. You get to stay the perfect daughter. And I get my prize. See you never, chumps. Foley teleports away in a burst of light. For a moment, no one says anything. Then, everyone speaks all at once. Branch and finger check? Everyone in one piece? He got away. Quick, someone go after him! He's only 50 meters away! By the time I get my wand, he'd be long gone. The culprit escapes, a most regrettable conclusion. I can't believe it. The papers are going to have a field day with this. Of course, that's what he's thinking about. Ismeta, when we arrive in the capital, we'll need an official statement about what's transcribed here. For all the good that's going to do. Foley, if only I'd known.
Ismena, you may return to your room until our arrival. I will come by to collect you before we disembark. Ismena sighs, walking out without another word. Poor Ismena. I can only imagine what she's going through right now. In light of the circumstances, I suspect the Magisterium will conduct a thorough review of tonight's trial record. You race over to Zircon, away from the others. Now, see, this could be the consequence of what we were talking about. Oh no! Zircon! Does this mean you're gonna get found out for trying to hide Willa and Ismena's affair? Only time will tell, but it is of no matter for me. I was prepared for such an eventuality. I pursued justice when it was not personally advantageous. My mother, Callum, said there is no greater deed than that. Well, here's hoping the Magisterium agrees. Perhaps they will surprise us. You don't need to apologize to me. Yeah, we did catch the crook. If you want us to tell you, we will, but, well, no, we found out who it was, but they got away. But, yeah. Zircon floats away towards the center of the space, adjusting everyone. Despite its unexpected outcome, I announce today's trial officially concluded. Everyone should rest while you're able. I expect you all at the Magisterium office by 8 chimes sharp. I wonder which peacoat I should wear for when we arrive. And just like that, I'm off to go see Ismena. I mean, my room. I hope you pick an ugly one, Bart. Everyone turns to go, heading in different directions. Well, looks like everyone's splitting up for tonight. Or is it morning? If I hurry, maybe I can talk with someone more one-on-one before I turn in. Considering how late the trial went, something tells me I only have time for one person. I think I'll talk to... And once again, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and save it so we can look at all the options. Let's see if we can mend the fences of Oberon. You head over to Oberon, who sits by the bar area. Come to gloats, have you? We're just getting a nightcap. Yeah, great minds think alike. You think yourself close to my genius? How's that honey jackfruit bliss? Dick. I wonder how big of a setback today's proceedings have created. I'm not apologizing, Oberon. I had to find the truth. To what end? The power gem was lost. A successful business employing countless people across the capital was thrown into disarray. A still promising political career has been lightly tarnished. That doesn't have to be the end of the story. What happens next is entirely up to you. Oberon looks out the window, watching the moon sink below the horizon. Don't forget your startup paperwork tomorrow. What? We'll be busy enough without wasting half the day entering you into payroll. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must ready my statement ready a statement for my arrival in the capital. Sorry about outing your mishap, by the way. Don't be. It's been ages since I had that much fun at a trial. Wait, that was fun for you? Take care of yourself, Kabili. I look forward to our next exchange. Oberon exits, not looking back. I know this shouldn't be my takeaway from that conversation, but I've got to know who his tailor is. Looking outside, you see the swells of the river Midas. The capital, or is it Midas? I don't know. The capital must be close. Oops. Okay, let's not conclude. Let's check the other options. Let's check in Willa. And Ismena. You find Willa and Ismena in her room. Hey, it's everyone's favorite Arcane investigator. You two need a minute? I don't want to intrude. Intrude away. I'd like to spend as little time as possible with my own thoughts. Izzy. I should have known something was up with Foley. He was never one to write, but the past 6 months, he sent me all these letters talking about the most boring, stupid stuff. I'm so sorry, Ismena. I just assumed everything was fine. That he was struggling through it the same way we all do. We'll see him again. You're not a fortune teller, are you? I wish, but sometimes I just know. Here's hoping. Thanks for all your help today. Both of you. I only wish it didn't have to go down that way. But what are you going to do?
For all the advances in spellcraft and magic, there will always be things we don't have any power over. Sometimes I hate it here. Don't we all? No one says anything, watching the moon sink below the horizon outside. At least you're cool. Both of you. But especially the one of you with the hot librarian vibes. Willa, calm down. Willa? The solarium's not too far from the capital, right? Just a train ride away. More booty calls! Trains, my least favorite way to travel. Ismena bursts into laughter, making Willa light up in relief. After the tension and exhaustion of the night, you're glad to see them joking like this. You know, I think I'm gonna head out. Willa and Ismena make half-hearted pleas for you to stay, but you think it's best to give them time alone, because God knows they need the time alone. You make your way to the door. See you when you get there. They barely notice that you shut the door behind you, returning to the hallway. Looking outside, you see the... Okay. So, let's take a look at option number 3 with Zircon. Get over to Zircon, where he runs diagnostics in a quiet corner of the dining car. Zircon, hey! Are you updating, or you got a minute to talk? I can tell my systems to remind me about updating tomorrow, a popular delaying tactic. I wanted to thank you for your patience with me today. I didn't think this would be quite so intense. If I am being truthful, I am still processing the results of today's trial. You sure you're going to be okay after omitting Willa and Ismena's affair? It is not your place to worry on my behalf. I view the omission as an extension of my role as adjudicator. I was created to ensure justice is meted out, no matter the consequence. Save for the escape of Foley, I believe everyone has performed their roles to the best of their abilities. What more can the Magisterium ask of me, of any of its subjects, beyond adherence to their own interpretation or of rectitude? I think you did the right thing, Zircon. I only wish executing my directive was less fraught, but we cannot choose the nature of our reality. The world's always changing. Who knows how things will shape up? Only time will tell. In any case, I appreciate our conversation. I hope the Magisterium will not find any fault of your conduct in this matter, Kabili. I intuit will be a strong addition to our investigative team. Or whatever you said, whatever. Especially for your taste in accessories. My enthusiasm remains for my headpiece. Still looking good, Zircon. Now, if you will excuse me, I should run diagnostics before we arrive. See you later, Zircon. Zircon hovers down the hall. Looking outside, you see the blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, one last thing, which I don't even know if it's actually going to do anything because it might just literally be like, go to a room. That's literally all it is. Okay. I don't know if it matters if we choose any of these. I think for this purpose, I think we'll just go with Zircon because, Oberon, it's like we didn't really get anything out of it. It's like, okay, we'll see you later. Willa and Ismena, I'm sure they're happy that, okay, calm them, cheer them up a little bit, but it's looked like they wanted us to leave anyway. So I'm just going to go through this to be like the official ending of the game. Or the case, whatever. And then we can continue from there. Here I am. Back again. It feels somehow wrong that after everything that's happened today, this room's exactly as I left it. You change back into your pajamas, laying down on the bed. I bet my folks will be proud to hear I solved my first case. I can practically hear them congratulating me now. I wish I felt that way too, but I don't know. Is this how it's gonna feel every time? Overwhelming? Exhausting? Complicated? At least I didn't embarrass myself too bad. Choo-choo! This is the conductor welcoming you to the capital. We hope you had a pleasant, relaxing trip. Wait, what was that? Holy crap, there was a trial here? What did I miss? Remember to check all your personal belongings with you as you disembark. We hope you'll travel with us again, wherever your next journey takes you. Zircon hovers in the hall door of your room, poking their head inside. Kabili, it is time to disembark. Kabili? And he's knocked out. And that, ladies and gentlemen, has been Arcane Investigations. That was fun. I liked that. He had a long night. I don't blame him one bit to try getting some sleep. You know, we did the whole trial on the train. Yep. We did our we learned about the crime. We did our investigation and witness testimonies, everything on the train, all in one night. Oh yeah, there was that Ace Attorney episode. It was specific to the anime. I never watched that one, but I gotta actually. I don't even know if I ever did watch the anime. Shit, I gotta look into that. But yeah, no, this, for what this was, it was really good. I will say, probably in turn, like, if you guys are familiar with Ace Attorney, you're good at deducing things, I would say it's not meant to be, like, super hard, which is okay. To me, it's satisfying when I'm able to actually piece things together, like, boom, 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 you know? But yeah, like, it wasn't too bad. Like, it wasn't, like, that hard to get through, and, oh, use Renpai for that, okay. But yeah, like, for what it was really enjoyable. Do you wish the game was a bit longer? Now, see, that's the thing as well. I would like it too if it was a little bit longer, but I think for like his first foray into a non-game jam game, this is a very, in my opinion, a very good like foray into it. Absolutely. So, yeah, no, that was fun, and he did say depending on how this sells, how it does in terms of reception, there could be more. And I think I can definitely, I think we can definitely see that possibly happening. So, we'll see. And just if you guys, and I'll put this all in the, the VOD. I'm gonna put this on YouTube. But I can put up the page for the game itself. I believe right now, I mean, it's $5. You know, you can spend $5 elsewhere for something way less enjoyable. And you can actually buy it right now, 10% off until the 28th of April here. And it'll be $4.50. So, yeah. Would you like to play demo cases 1 and 2 of Mystery in the Mist? Probably, Pole Girl. I just gotta see what the time I have, because there are so many other projects I need or that I really want to get into. Just this week alone, I think this week alone, 2 huge games from me came out that I want to cover. One of them is Claire Obscure Expedition 33, because I've been hearing nothing but amazing things about it. I'm a sucker for turn-based RPGs. I'm a sucker for gameplay that kind of revolves around something like freaking Legend of Dragoon, and for a small French developer, apparently knocked it out of the park. So I'd like to play that. But also, the latest game from Tokyo Games came out. The ones, the people who made Danganronpa and Zero Escape, they have their company together, Tokyo Games, which I think they made the World's End Club. I forgot the other game they did, but their next game, what is it called? The 100 Line Last Defense Academy, that just came out as well. For whatever reason, it's not on PS5, which I find that weird. And I think they even mentioned it will not come out to PS5, according to the developers. But we'll see about that, because a Raincoat eventually came out to it. But it is on PC, so maybe that's how I'll cover it. But I really would like to get into those as well. So, I mean, I want to get into doing this more often anyway. So, we'll see. We'll see what I can do. it sure feels like you're playing a demo. I mean, I get it. You know, I mean, $5 though for like a maybe, you know, 2-3 hours of gameplay, depending on. Well, for me, it was longer because I was talking through everything and I was explaining things, so that's why I felt a little bit longer. But I don't think it's like terribly priced at all, or for the length of it. I think it's just has that good, decent price point for it, you know. Excuse me. So, yeah, no, but for everything that what it was, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you once again to the developer for reaching out to me in the first place to, you know, to ask if I was interested, and I absolutely am. You know, you guys know that I am a sucker for anything Ace Attorney-like, inspired visual novels like this. It's just fun. So that is gonna be it from me today. I will try my best to, you know, try doing more games coming up soon, and simply take things from there. So, as usual, thank you all so much for watching this stream and playthrough of Arcane Investigations. Love you all so much, and don't forget to spread that love around. Have a great day, everybody.